evening and welcome in to another exciting edition of Friday Night Football State Playoff Style. Ashe County High School, it's the Ashe County Huskies facing off against the Blue Devils of Maiden High School. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, proud to bring you a special broadcast here tonight. Going to be a delayed broadcast of the game, and it's a cold one here tonight, Nathan. It
is, I believe, 18 degrees, bundled up, doing the best we can, but you know, it's just brutal out here. Hoping the Huskies can get a win, though.
Yeah, it's going to be tough conditions here tonight, to say the least. As we have a great matchup here, the Huskies, we know, couldn't complete the perfect regular season, but still coming in at a very impressive 9-1 on the year. Maiden Blue Devils 5-6, but it's easy to be fooled by that final record, I should say, Nate. They're a much better team than a 5-6 team coming into this one.
It is. The Blue Devils play in maybe the toughest 2A conference in the western side of the state, featuring Newton Conover, Lincolnton, East Lincoln, just to name a few. And Maiden's battle-tested. They're one of the most battle-tested teams in the playoffs this year. As you said, that record definitely doesn't mean a lot when you're playing teams as good as they have had to play this year.
Exactly, and as you see there on screen, of course, the big one, the number one seed in the West brackets here in the 2A, East Lincoln, undefeated 11-0. As we are just about ready for kickoff here tonight, of course, we see there Maiden finished 5th in the conference. And like you talked about, very, very difficult conference to play in. And I'll tell you what, we should be in for a tightly contested matchup here tonight between the Ashe County Huskies and the Maiden Blue Devils. We talked about it before. This is going to be battle, to say the least, and a difficult matchup here for the third-seeded Huskies. As we talked about, Maiden, underrated right now, in my opinion, as a 14 seed.
It is, and people have talked about it all week. You know, they're ranked as the 14th seed, but absolutely strong team that we're having to face off with. Going to be a difficult contrast in styles here for our defense, having to face a strong rushing offense, but hopefully the Huskies are ready to go tonight.
And on to kick this one away, Isaiah Holdren for the Maiden Blue Devils in the visiting white. Huskies going to be in the home purple. 18 degrees. First round of the North Carolina High School State Playoffs, 2A division. Ashe County is again the 3A seed. Coming in here, 9-1 record. Maiden 5-6, 14 seed. And we are underway, folks. It is a low squib kick, going to be fielded right about the 15-yard line. Colin Ellis trying to find some room, and closing in quickly is that special teams unit, those Blue Devils.
Absolutely, Ash. Their special teams have been playing pretty well all year. We've got some good returns from Colin Ellis all year, but right there, Maiden on the spot makes the tackle well short of the 30-yard line.
As we see this Husky offense coming onto the field, an impressive season to say the least for senior QB Connor Bowers. Passed for over 3,000 yards. Nate eclipsed that toward the end of that Elkin game, 3,006 yards. Unofficial stats, 35 TDs, only 10 interceptions. These Huskies like to throw it. We'll see if these windy conditions hamper that offense. And there's a quick completion over the middle to Mason McNeil, and you like to see that right off the bat.
Absolutely. Get Connor going early. He's your senior leader. This air raid offense, you have to get in a good rhythm, and Connor getting short throws early, a good start for Ashe.
To bring the ball up about 8 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 2.
So an 8-yard gain officially. Makes it a nice 2nd down and 2 situation. Ashe in the shotgun set. Bowers joined by Sullivan, and here comes the big man. No, Bowers keeps it himself on the read option, out across the 40, first down Huskies.
Absolutely, adds a nice little wrinkle to that playbook. We've seen it a handful of times this year. Right there, Maiden, no idea that Connor was going to keep that one. Picks up a nice first down.
We talk about the contrasting styles, Huskies in this new air raid offense. Of course, it's not new by now. Here we are in this first round of the state playoffs, their first year in this air raid offense. And we know that we're going to see Maiden, when they take the field, a much different style, as you talked about before with the spread.
Yeah, Maiden's going to want to pound that ball at your quarterback and running back, both over 1,200 yards on the year. Definitely going to be trying to pound it at the Huskies, control that clock.
And I was about to say another pass completion, but Colin Ellis just cannot find the handle there. He was covered well, but he had to step in there on a little curl route. Unable to complete it, though, as Bowers' pass. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies. Huskies coming off of their 2nd straight Mountain Valley Athletic Conference co-championship. And great season, the best in regular season for Ashe County. Look at Sky Sullivan breaking away, switching fields, and takes it into Maiden territory.
I'd like to see that early as well. Maiden knew we were going to come out throwing the football. Might as well throw some run plays in there and throw a little wrinkle into this offense for Ashe.
And the sophomore tailback was the leading rusher for the Ashe County Huskies this year, unofficially. Now, these are not including all the stats. We didn't have scorekeepers for either the Wilkes Central game or North Wilkes. We know the Huskies put up yards in bunches in those two contests, but unofficially on the year, Sky Sullivan, 56 carries, 340 yards, 6 TDs. He's had multiple double touchdown games and some very impressive tallying marks for the season. There's an incomplete pass trying to find a little bubble screen there across the middle. It looked like for Jacob Worley, and he's come in nice during fill-in spots this season when both Jacob Blevins and Mason McNeil were out for the Huskies.
It has been. That's something you like to see from a senior coming in, being called on right when needed, especially, as you said, our two leading receivers missing time, Jacob Worley, and also Carter Calhoun. We might see some tonight stepping in as well.
Ashe staying in this 4-wide set. Sullivan along with Bowers. Here's the delay handoff, and met immediately at the line of scrimmage and forced back. My, what a hit there.
Sky Sullivan on that carry, stopped by number 55.
It's going to be Josh Daner bringing him down. Senior defensive end, 6 foot, 200 pounds. You look up and down this starting front here for the Blue Devils. They've got some big guys there on both sides of the ball.
They do. They've got some pretty solid size. We haven't seen that all year in some of our opponents, but tonight we may still have a little bit of a size advantage, but it won't be as much as we've had in some ball games.
So now on 3rd down and 10, Bowers firing all the way. Here's a screen play sort of to the left side to Sullivan. Maybe just more of a dump down pass there, not a drawn screen play. It's only going to result in a gain of about 3 or 4 for the Ashe County Huskies, and that's going to bring up a quick 4th down situation. What are you thinking here inside the 40-yard line of the Blue Devils?
You know, as powerful as that Maiden offense is, you might as well want to go for it here, see if you can pick up the 1st down. If not, hope the defense is ready to go, but right here, definitely too far for a field goal, especially in these windy conditions. I would give it a go here.
And it looks like you are right. Coach Hampton will leave that offensive unit on the field. 4th down and 5. Early 4th down situation here, just 3 minutes into the ball game. Bowers, plenty of time to throw, fires a nice pass to the left, but great coverage there, and it falls incomplete. Looking in the way of Jacob Blevins, but some nice defense being displayed by Tony Hernandez, and he certainly is a ball hawk for this Maiden defense. Has 5 interceptions on the year and showed off his ability there.
Absolutely, a good defensive stand from the Blue Devils. Exactly what they wanted to have with Ashe opening the game on offense, but for Maiden, now we get to see that rushing attack, see what they can do against the Ashe defense.
So now we'll see what this Maiden offense can do. Man in motion. There's the man, Caleb Farley. He likes to run it, and there he does. Picks up about 4 yards on the first play of scrimmage for the Blue Devils. And, Nate, this is no sophomore quarterback. He's rushed for 18 TDs this year as well as thrown for 8.
And absolutely thrown to the wolves, so to say. Graduation last year really impacted the backfield as a whole, both a sophomore quarterback and a sophomore leading rusher. Big-time play from a couple of underclassmen for Maiden this year.
Yeah, I believe Coach Schneider said they start, about half a dozen sophomores on this team, so it's a young squad that's only gotten better. Here's the toss to the outside. Can they wrap him up? Look at Bradley Lucas stepping up and making a huge play.
Great tackle there by Bradley. He's been one of our key leaders on defense this year. Really stepped it up lately. Of course, he had that 20 tackle game against Stormount. He just keeps getting better as the season goes.
3rd and 12 coming up now for the Blue Devils.
That was Xavion Huff, the ball carrier. He rushed for a dozen touchdowns this year for the Blue Devils. And over 1,200 yards. As we said, they like to keep it on the ground. This is now going to force Maiden into a 3rd and very long situation, 3rd and 13. Let's see what Maiden chooses to do here, going to 3-wide set. They just keep it on the ground and stood up, going nowhere. The Husky relentless defensive line not giving an inch.
Yeah, we saw Sean Baker in there as well, and Bradley Lucas once again. Nice bounce back from Ashe's defense. We saw them have trouble with a Stormount team that really ran the ball to the side and up the middle all game long against us. But right here, Maiden probably better athletes than Stormount, and Ashe does a great job shutting them down on their first drive.
So now our first punt of the ball game, and we'll see what these windy conditions do with the kicking game. Doubt we'll see many field goals attempted. Maiden has not made a field goal throughout the entire year. Unofficially, according to stats on Max Preps, 0 for 2 in field goals. This is a good high swinging punt. Going to be fielded at the 35-yard line. Ball comes loose. by the return man, and who comes up with it? Maiden's pointing that they got the football at the bottom of the dog pile, and Maiden has recovered the football, and an early mistake for this Ashe County return team.
And early swing of momentum here. You were waiting for one team to make a mistake, and right now, unfortunately, looks like Ashe has made the biggest one so far.
And boy, this is not a good sign here for the Huskies. The return man on that play, and sophomore star, Colin Ellis, he's hurt.
Hopefully nothing too serious. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. But on a cold night like this, those hits are going to hurt quite a bit more. You hate to want to admit that, but you know, these hits, when it's 18 degrees, you're going to feel them a little bit.
Yeah, and you can hear the wind really whipping here, and we apologize. Maybe the audio may be a little muddled at times due to these really windy conditions. Sort of wreaking havoc not only in the football players and on the game itself, but on some of our equipment here. So we do apologize in advance for that. It is a cold night here, 18 degrees, windy conditions. Wind chill values, they say, could be as low as 6 above. And it's a cold one here on top of the press box. And poor Colin Ellis, he's still down on the field for the Ashe County Huskies. Trainer Adam Elliott, head coach Brian Hampton out there along with some of the staff from Maiden High School. You got to hope that young guy's okay.
Absolutely. You hate when anybody goes down, but especially headed on a special teams play. Sometimes special teams kids may not be looking as much out there, but he's one of our more dangerous weapons. Hopefully, again, nothing too serious.
Talking about Colin Ellis, you know, he's not alone as some of the offensive leaders throughout the season for the Ashe County Huskies, as we see there, quite a dual threat, and a second leading rusher on the squad and second leading receiver as well.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous year, just done such a great job stepping up and help out this offense. And as you said, been a great play threat, lined up out wide or lined up in the backfield.
Take a look there, some of the numbers. Of course, two big sophomores playing key roles out of the backfield and receiving the ball. Scott Sullivan, the leading carrier for the Huskies, 9 total touchdowns, 8 for Colin Ellis. Mason McNeil was the leading receiver this season for the Ashe County Huskies, 10 touchdown receptions. Blevins with 8. And of course, Hunter Barnes, he really came on strong later in the season for Ashe County.
He did. We saw him earlier on defense for several games, but really called upon in the backfield to help out with Sullivan and Ellis moving more into a full-time wide receiver role. Hunter Barnes stepped in nicely and has been a nice asset for the Huskies.
Got to be some concern here for Colin Ellis. What we're hoping at first was just maybe having the wind knocked out of him. He still has not gotten up off of the field. And regardless of, you know, talking about how great of a player, the outcome of this game, what it means, just got to hope right now for the welfare of young Colin Ellis, just a sophomore, as we mentioned. Certainly has a great future ahead of him here, not only in football at Ashe County High School, also a very solid basketball player. And the training staff of the Ashe County Huskies still tending to Colin Ellis right now.
No problem, dude.
So maybe we didn't get a time there really before kickoff to talk about the matchup. What exactly are you expecting here, you think, for this specific game between these two squads?
You know, I've been thinking about it all week. It's certainly been a tough matchup to really judge. Maiden's played such a tough schedule, played such a strong conference row of opponents. But for Ashe, they played a very tough non-conference schedule. Maybe conference a little bit down this year, but Ashe took care of business against the teams they were supposed to. Had a little bit of a down game against Starmount. But, you know, I was debating all week who I thought would win this game, what I thought the score would be. But, you know, just two completely different teams, different styles of play. And we'll see who comes out on top at the end.
And Nate, speaking of the matchup here, we know the Huskies, as we had it there, 9-1 on the season. You know, it was deemed before, the understanding was that High Brighton game was ruled a no contest, no winner, no loser. Checking out the brackets as anyone can on nchsaa.org, you can see there that the Huskies are listed as 9-2. They counted that game as a loss.
Yeah, I guess technically since we were losing at halftime, maybe for playoff purposes it went down as a loss. I'm not really sure what the deal was with that. A lot of people had asked me, and, you know, I'd done a little research and asked some people myself, and weren't really sure either. So I really didn't have an answer for anybody. But, you know, as it stands, the games that counted, for the most part, we won. So hopefully we can keep that going right into the playoffs.
Now having to bring on the Gator to bring Colin Ellis off of the field. Gotta hope that young man's okay. We're getting a good view here of the action. Compliments of our cameraman Angus Lamond, who's got a tough one here, man, in the helm tonight on the cameras. I'm Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, and we're going to take a quick break here, actually, and resume action. Hopefully, as we see there, Colin Ellis, they're going to help him get off the field. Good to see him at least up. We'll be back right after these messages here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
For Friday night football, they got Colin Ellis off the field. Gotta hope he's okay. We'll try to get you an update maybe at halftime after the turnover. And quickly back to the ground game. Xavion Huff nowhere to move. Ashe County, boy, Nate, this defensive line really stepping up.
They are. It's something they had to do this ball game. They knew Maiden was going to run the football right at them. And so far, terrific job by the front four there.
So no gain on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 10 here. Just under 6.5 minutes to go in this first period. Of course, Ashe County did cough up the football on the punt return, giving Maiden the ball right back. As this Husky defense has to go back to work. There's a quick burst of speed, and that's more of what we expected out of the line of scrimmage. Bursting through the gate that time, Xavion Huff.
Still a good shoestring tackle in there to force a 3rd down here. We'll see what Maiden draws up.
Boy, you can take a look at that acceleration. You can see why this guy finished for over 1,500 all-purpose yards this season. Not only out of the backfield, but receiving and in the return game. Here he tries to make something happen, still on his feet, but he is going to be bottled up in the backfield. Husky defensive line. Got to give them an A+ so far into this game.
You said it, Tyler. Great job there by Sean Baker. Nice little step-back move by Huff, but could not get any extra running lane. Nice little loss there, brings up 4th down.
Mark it 4th down and 6. You're on playoff football, Friday night football, brought to you by Miller Insurance in downtown West Jefferson. Be sure to check out Miller Insurance for all of your insurance needs. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham. 4th down, another big 4th and 6. We saw the Huskies in a similar situation just a few minutes ago, unable to convert. Now this time Maiden gonna punt it. And it's a good high kick. And it will actually be fielded by Mason McNeil about the 6-yard line. Now trying to find some room at the sideline. He's out across the 30-yard line now. And a solid return there for the Huskies.
Hey, great job by Ashe. Maiden was hoping to pin him deep right there. But Mason McNeil uses some blocks, and the sideline tiptoes right along the sideline. And we'll put Ashe in pretty decent field position considering where he caught that punt.
Yeah, he's looking like the high wire rack there, walking the rope along that sideline. So mark it out at the 32-yard line. This Husky offense quickly back to action. 1st down and 10. So far, this defense has done what they needed to do, and the Huskies with some solid field position to start this drive. From their own 32, firing across the middle. There's Mason McNeil, just drops it. Wide open across the middle. Perfect pass delivered by Connor Bowers, but just unable to find the handle. Maybe some of these cold conditions played a part in that.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. I tell you, with these conditions, that may feel like trying to catch a cinder block out there. That football's going to feel like just a big-time weight on your shoulders there trying to reel those in.
After the incompletion, it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Bowers dropping back, fires across. Same play again. This time McNeil does hang on, wrapped up immediately. But not a bad gainer there on 2nd down. That's going to make it 3rd down in a manageable distance here. Probably about 4 or 5 to go for the first.
Certainly a much easier chance of picking up a 3rd down here. Usually 3rd and longs don't go a lot of teams' way, but right here, 3rd and short playbook's quite a bit more opened up than it has been. We'll see what Coach Hampton wants to do here.
And we did see the Huskies really take a shot deep downfield. Note, is this a situation where we might see that?
You could be. You know, they've haven't really given Blevins much running room. Defenses have that way, or anyway, so we'll see what Ashe does.
And here's a quick pass across the middle again to McNeil. He's targeting him early and often, and it pays off and give the Huskies yet another first down out at the 45-yard line.
First down, they'll now have the ball at the 45-yard line with a 1st and 10.
Huskies getting what they can here on offense to start off this ball game. So now we see Bowers joined by senior back Hunter Barnes. His first action on offense tonight. See if they call his number. Bowers dropping back, Aaron all the way, looking over here to the near side, over the head of the intended man, Carter Calhoun.
Number 7, Carter Calhoun.
And just a little bit overthrown that time by Bowers.
Calhoun was open right there, but as you said, Trojans sailed a little bit on our senior quarterback. You know, tough field conditions, as we said, with the cold and everything. That ball might feel a little bit heavy for Connor as well.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 10. Still at the 45-yard line for the Huskies. Here's Barnes getting the handle wrapped up immediately. And lucky if he's able to gain a yard that time, wrapping up, making first contact again. Big number 55, Josh Drainer.
That carry stopped by number 15, MJ Perry. Very little gain on that play for Ashe County.
So the Huskies going to be in a difficult situation here. 3rd down and 9.5 yards to go, we'll call it. To reach the first, need to get it into Maiden territory to their 45-yard line. Ball just across their own 45. 4 wide set again for the Huskies. Trips to the near side. Blevins in the one-on-one matchup up top. Play action. Bowers airing it out deep down the field. Has Calhoun and cannot reel it in. It looked like Carter Calhoun, if he'd kept running, he would have had 6.
Yeah, turned around a little bit too early on that route. Still tried to make a one-handed stab at it, but yeah, it looked like if he would have just kept running, that would have hit him in stride. But nonetheless, Ashe will bring on the punting team here.
So the first time the Huskies go for the deep ball, unsuccessful attempt that time, unfortunately for Ashe, and that's going to bring up 4th and 10, an obvious punting situation. As we see Mason McNeil on the kick for the first time for the Huskies. Got to watch this dangerous return team. Sort of a low kick and a bounce inside the 25, and no return here. Takes a nice Husky bounce, though. That's going to roll all the way down to the 15-yard line, so a great job pinning Maiden deep.
Good job by the special teams, and now the defense gets to come out here. Maybe they can force a turnover here and really help out Ashe get the ball in a much shorter field.
We talk about the ever-dangerous Caleb Farley, just a sophomore, and you see there on screen just how dangerous this young man is. 8 touchdown passes this season, 18 on the ground. So here comes Maiden again, led by Farley, all alone in the backfield. Man in motion, 3 wide set. He's just going to keep it himself, and fighting forward, gets out to the 20-yard line before he is brought down by Kenny Reed.
Kenny Reed stepping up there from his quarterback spot. Something you have to have from our secondary players against a team that runs the ball a lot. Those secondary guys have to move up.
And there we see also joining Reed in the secondary for the Ashe County Huskies. But almost the first time, I believe, we haven't seen him much this year on defense, almost exclusively used on defense last year, Jacob Blevins. He's going to play both ways tonight for the Huskies.
Yeah, it's good to see Coach Hampton being willing to use some of his better athletes out there. I haven't had to use them much during the regular season, but this is playoff football, a completely different atmosphere.
And there's Huff finding his room, or way, I should say, to the outside on the right side of the field. And that's going to be enough to move those chains. I believe that is the first down for this Maiden offense.
That is good for a Maiden first down. They'll now have the ball down at the 30-yard line.
So move it out to the 30, where it'll be 1st and 10. Still no score in this ball game as we approach the 2-minute mark. Both teams have found yards more than difficult to come by. Here's the option. Farley, look at him just wiggling his way through that line. He had some space up front, and he made the most of it.
See a lot of good quickness there from their quarterback. One of the things that people talked about quite a bit, just a very shifty guy, tough to bring down.
2nd down coming up.
And Farley shaken up on that play, so that's the 2nd player we've seen go down here tonight already. Colin Ellis for Ashe County, and Farley, he appears to be injured.
Now looks like the number 1 might be a curse to be wearing tonight, unfortunately. Sure that
yeah, you're exactly right. As the trainers come out to tend to Farley, he's sitting up already. Looks like a leg injury. Not really sure. Difficult to see underneath the pile. Maybe if he got leg twisted somewhere or the other, it's always hard to see. Or maybe on his cutback was managed to injure something, unfortunately. So while they tend to sophomore QB Caleb Farley again. We're going to injury timeout. We're going to take one as well. You're watching Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And after they got Caleb Farley off the field, we are back here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1, playoff edition of Friday Night Football. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, and guys made in the cameras here tonight. Greg Jones and Angus Lamont, giving a shout out to them. Also Corbin Richardson manning things back at the station as we have a change at quarterback now, as we'll see number 4, Keegan Mayfield, come in, just a freshman, and he's going to have to run this Maiden offense for the foreseeable future. Hey, it makes it a lot easier when you have a guy like Huff to hand it off to.
Oh, definitely makes it a world of ease there for your young quarterback. Definitely hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time this year, if any. I know for sure on that situation. But yeah, you've got a horse in the backfield, just hand it off to him, and hope your starter can get back out there.
So another first down for the Blue Devils. They take it out across the 40-yard line. Just over a minute remaining in this first period. 2 number 1s have gone out here already in this game. And now cutting it back to the outside. Here is Huff with some room. He's out across the 50, finally going to be forced down. And out of bounds by Jacob Blevins.
Tackle there by our senior playmaker.
Jacob Blevins.
Blevins stepping up and making a play on defense, as we talked about. Don't see it a lot this year from the Ashe County Huskies, using guys on both offense and defense. Blevins filling in nicely here in the secondary tonight. Certainly one of the fastest men, if not the fastest, on the Husky team. As we're going to get a measurement here, see if it was indeed a first down as the chain gang comes onto the field. 49.7 seconds left in this first quarter. Sort of surprisingly, no scoring yet in this ball game, as both of these squads are used to putting up a flurry of points throughout the season, especially. We know how potent this Ashe County air raid offense has been all season long. And they stretch it out. See if we can get a view of it. Looks like he does have the first by the nose, and indeed they do. So move the chains once again for the Maiden Blue Devils across midfield. They're going to be in Ashe County territory on the 49, first down.
Second trip into Ashe territory tonight for Maiden. Hopefully the Ashe defense can buckle down just like they did on that first possession inside Ashe territory.
These big play offenses so far have been limited in this matchup. Of course, the 18-degree weather and the wind, as you can hear, certainly not going to help conditions and be conducive to a big offensive night. Ball on the 49, first down, backup QB in for Maiden. Here's another handoff to Huff. He's going to be wrapped up almost immediately. Richardson stepping up and making a nice play, as well as the sophomore Tristan Jones.
Second down coming up for Maiden.
Limiting Maiden there just a gain of about 1. And we'll see if they even choose to get off another snap in this first period. No, we actually see Caleb Farley back onto the field now, Nate. So rolling the dice here. Looks like he's good to go. I hope he's okay. Down to 6 on the clock. And it looks like Maiden is just going to let this one roll dead. And the clock will hit zeros at the end of the first period. No score after 1. So far, it's been a tightly contested defensive battle between these two teams. We'll be back with second quarter action here on Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Teams have switched sides. We're getting ready for second quarter to crank up here on Sky Zone's Friday Night Football State Playoff Edition from under the lights at Ashe County High School. First round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association playoffs between number 3 seed and host Ashe County Huskies and the visiting number 14 seed Blue Devils of Maiden High School. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, proud to bring you the action, along with all of our crew here tonight. Weather in the storm, Angus Lamond, Greg Jones, Corbin Richardson, Robbie Farmer, and we're glad to bring you the action once again here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1, starting the second quarter. No score in this one, made a little surprising.
Yeah, we thought 2 high-scoring offenses going into this game. Be easy to put up points, but so far either both defenses are really stepping up or the cold weather is just slowing everybody down.
And we did receive word there during the break that unfortunately Colin Ellis suffered a concussion on that play, Nate, and he's at least going to be out for this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way concussion protocols are these days, we certainly have to wish him the best, and hopefully if we win tonight, he can be back next week.
Caleb Farley is back in, the other number 1 who was injured for the Maiden Blue Devils. 5 wide set, man in motion. Farley, he's just going to keep it himself, looking off that left side. Nice grab there by number 36, Alex Richardson. He got beat, but then he was able to just reach up and grab the shoestrings of Farley.
Yeah, you hate to say might have been a touchdown-saving tackle there, but Farley had a whole lot of open room, and with his kind of speed, you just never know, he might have took that one to the house.
So stopped him just shy of the first down, makes it 4th and 1. Another big 4th down situation here for Maiden, going for it on the Ashe County 45-yard line. Need to get down to the 44. Short yardage situation here. Can this Ashe County defense hold him? 3 wide set. Farley joined by Huff in the backfield. He gets the call, dances around there, and he got the first down.
They lined up pretty quick there, like they were quick snapping on us, but waited for the play call to come in. Nonetheless, got about 3 yards there, enough for the first down.
As we see, both of these teams get the ball snapped quick, fast, in a hurry, Nate, like those no-huddle sets. Let's mark it down now at the Ashe County 38-yard line. Working left to right are the Maiden Blue Devils. Trying to break this scoreless game so far. Split back set. Ball over here to the near side to Huff. He's dancing around trying to cut it back to the middle. Oh, man, a low hit there delivered by Tristan Jones saying, get down.
Big time hit there by our sophomore linebacker. Not fooled one bit by that change of direction. Comes in there and absolutely slams the ball carrier.
So good low hit, able to wrap him up and take him down with authority as the sophomore Tristan Jones laying down the law. And that's going to make it 2nd down and 13. This Ashe County defense been a few times, but so far haven't broken, as we've been saying all season long, Ben, but don't break philosophy on this defensive front. And holding true to that so far tonight. All backed up to the 42-yard line. Farley takes the snap, keeps it himself now on the option, and he gets hit hard again, laying down the law, one of the Baker boys.
You can see Ashe absolutely bringing it on defense tonight, not afraid to lay some hits on this Blue Devil team.
Sean Baker is actually the 3rd leading tackler this season for the Huskies, 71 unofficially. As we know, he was going to be counted on from day 1 to be a leader for this defensive unit, and he has delivered, both he and his brother Jason, just to name a couple of the defensive captains for this squad. 4 wide set now, 3rd and 15. Farley dropping back, airing it deep, airmailing to the near side, and it's intercepted! The Huskies have come up with a huge play defensively, and that comes courtesy of Evan Owen. We've talked about his improvement the last few weeks.
Evan Owen just does it all for this team. He caught some big passes earlier in the season, and he's been just a top man in that secondary here lately. That's at least his 4th or 5th interception here in the last handful of ball games.
Making a great play defensively, to say the least, and maybe that's the momentum that the Huskies need to get right into this ball game and get things back going in their direction after coughing up the football on the return on the punt back here just a few minutes ago in the first period. Now Bowers wheeling his way out of trouble, trying to get out of bounds, and he does. Going to be dropped back, though, at about the 15-yard line. Of course, they could have been a lot worse, Nate. Going to lose just a yard or so, just a slight loss. That Maiden defense got to him very quickly.
That play looked in trouble there from the start. At least Connor didn't turn the ball over there, force any ill-advised throw, just willing to take the short loss and live to play another down.
2nd down and 12. Now a swing pass here to the outside. McNeil has some room to work and coughs up the football. Who comes up with it? Looks like Ashe did recover. And McNeil, we've seen at times he has had a little trouble hanging onto the football this season.
Fortunate bounce there goes Ashe's way, able to hang on to that football.
So after it's all said and done there, they gained about 3 yards. It's going to make it 3rd down and 9 for the Huskies. Ball on their own 19-yard line. Still no score in this ball game. 4 wide set, play action. Bowers dropping back. He's got a man deep, air-mailing it, and going up for the catch and making it is Mason McNeil. He's breaking away. He's at the 30, the 20. Kiss it goodbye. See you later. Touchdown, Huskies.
That's how you do it right there. Just draw it up. Let your big wideout go up and get it. How about that? Just takes it down the field the rest of the way. Huskies strike first.
Oh, my goodness, and what a pass delivered on cue from Connor Bowers off the play action. Had the defense fooled. McNeil got a step on the defense. He was off to the races. That was an 81-yard touchdown pass courtesy of Connor Bowers to Mason McNeil. He redeemed himself and then some, Nate.
Oh, big time there. You know, you see that a lot. Some guys make a mistake. They want to go out there and make up for it. And I think it's safe to say the coach will forgive him for that little fumble right there.
And now the extra point attempt from Richardson is up, sails to the right, no good. But regardless, the Ashe County Huskies strike pay dirt first, capping off a nice drive, the 81-yard touchdown completion. Connor Bowers to Mason McNeil. And according to unofficial stats there, that makes touchdown hookup number 11 for those two and takes McNeil up over 700 yards on the year.
Just a tremendous season for our junior wide receiver. And, you know, you hate to look forward to next year already, but can't wait to see what he's going to do next year as a senior.
Yeah, and certainly Connor Bowers just continues to add on to his total. Well over the 3,000-yard mark now with that completion. Gives him 36 touchdown passes for the season. And we talked about it there early on, Nate. He did throw 4 interceptions the very first ball game against North Surrey. Since then, only threw 6, and that was over an impressive 9-game stretch.
Yeah, he's really fine-tuned that accuracy, got into a great rhythm down the stretch, and it's just been a joy to watch our senior quarterback lead this team and lead this air raid offense.
So the Huskies so far proving doubters wrong here at Ashe County High School tonight. They're saying 18 degrees and cold, bring it on, and bring on the Blue Devils. We're here to put points up on the board, and they strike first, leading 6-0 now. Here at the 7:52 mark in the second quarter on Sky Zone Sports, brought to you by Miller Insurance in downtown West Jefferson. Be sure to once again check out Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. And the squib kick now from Richardson after missing the PAT is fielded and cutting it back up the field and going to give his team some nice field position. That time was number 20, Tony Hernandez, who made a nice play defensively already in this ball game. Very nearly coming up with an interception, which would have been his 6th on the season, and gives his team some great starting field position in their own 36-yard line as we see the Blue Devils going to look to answer back.
Yeah, hopefully the Ashe defense can take the momentum that the offense just handed to them, and they'll make a stop of their own and get the Huskies the ball back.
And Farley holding on to it back there. Nobody handed off to, and nowhere to go. Maybe some miscommunication. I think his backs went left when they should have went right. And he's going to be stopped there right at the line of scrimmage. He's lucky to get that much.
Yeah, you can see Farley right there absolutely giving it to one of his running backs back there. Somebody ran the wrong way. It's tough to fake anybody out when you're just holding the ball out there. Nobody runs to you.
Yeah, I think he zigged when he should have zagged there, Nate.
I stole that from the water boy.
So all is said and done there. They're going to say 2nd down and 11, a loss of 1. Back to their own 36. Farley in the gun. He's going to look to drop back and set up a screen to the far sideline. Can't wrap him up to Jones, and he's off to the races before he is finally brought down at the Husky 40-yard line after switching fields by big Jason Baker.
Number 24, Xavion Huff. He's brought down by 52.
Excuse me, Sean Baker.
Not before getting a first down,
making the stop there for Ashe County at their own 40-yard line. That's the first big play we've seen tonight from this Maiden offense. First and 10 after the big-time gain on first down. And now Farley, a little bit of room to work, breaking tackles left and right. Finally going to be slung to the ground after picking up about 7-8 yards.
Nice tackle there by Zach Hooten, able to come up from his cornerback spot and bring Farley down.
here in the game as the clock continues to roll on. It's going to make it second down, about 3 yards to go.
Number 13, Zachary Eaton on the tackle. Gain about
6-0 Ashe County. First round, North Carolina High School State Playoffs. 3-seeded Huskies, 14-seed Maiden Blue Devils, but can't go by seeding here in this contest. This is a very good Maiden squad. Split back set now. Ball hits the turf. Can they get to it? No, but they are able to stop him after dropping the ball there. Huff was able to recover it. Good job there by the Husky D.
Rescue there for Maiden definitely helps out the Huskies. Went from a 2nd and short to now a 3rd and about 12. And for a team that runs the ball a whole lot, those 3rd longs difficult to pick up.
Yeah, Maiden found out the hard way last time. They tried to throw the ball. Ashe County's going to be there to defend it. Coming up with a big interception, riding that momentum. A little bit early movement there up front, but Ashe able to get back on side. Surprisingly here, Nate, no penalties thrown, I believe, in this game. No penalty flags. As sure as I say that, though, we'll probably see a few. Farley now going to have to make something happen. He's trying to work his magic, still on his feet, shaking off Husky defenders. Oh, and what a job there by Bradley Lucas, grabbing the jersey and jerking him to the ground.
Thankfully there for Ashe fans, Bradley Lucas hangs on for the ride, able to pull him down by his jersey. Definitely saved a first down and maybe a whole lot more.
I like that. Saddle up.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do at this point. If you got to pull a jersey to get somebody down, just make sure they're down.
4th down and about 5 yards to go. That Maiden offense going nowhere. Staying on the field here, another big 4th down situation. I believe about every 4th down we've seen the offense stay on the field tonight, with the exception of about 2 times. Early on in this ball game, both coaches know these points may be hard to come by due to the weather. And we're actually going to get a timeout called here, courtesy of Coach Snyder on that far sideline. So Nate, here at the 4:46 mark, Ashe County Huskies with the lead 6-0. A little bit surprised by this score. How about you?
Yeah, I thought we would definitely see some points tonight. I think the weather's playing a really key role in slowing this game down. Maybe the guys not as willing to take some of these hits when it's 18 degrees. But nonetheless, both defenses so far showing up in a big way, and kind of surprised to see that, especially from Maiden. They've been carved up all year. I think I saw they've averaged giving up over 32 points a game this year. Ashe, on the other hand, they've allowed under 20 a game. So we expect to see this from the Husky defense, but Maiden fans, they have to be pleased so far that they've only surrendered 6 points.
Certainly this Husky defense pitching a shutout. Props to those guys, especially up front. And then, of course, can't discount the secondary with a great interception earlier in the ball game by Evan Owen. Now 4th down and 5. Here's the toss sweep over to the far side. Huff trying to find his way. Nothing doing on the left side. The Huskies stand strong. Bradley Lucas, also Jacob Sawyer, Zach Uten, all on in that play. I believe Brandon Blevins may have had a hand in it as well.
Yeah, great job by the Ashe defense. You can tell the coaching staff over here fired up. Got a big stop on 4th down. And you know what? 4:38 left here in the second. We'll see if Ashe can drive down the field, maybe put some more points up.
So the Husky D gets that Maiden offense off the field once again, refusing to give up any points so far in this ball game. They'll take back over on offense 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. Bowers in the gun. 4 wide set, play action again. This one a check down toss, and did they come up with it? And Ashe County pass is complete there. Saw the defense, a little hard to see from up here high atop the press box who that was caught by. I thought there may have been an interception, but a great snag there by Mason McNeil. He's been the go-to guy all night long for Ashe County despite a couple of drop passes.
He has, and Ashe seems to be able to do that week in and week out. You get a guy that's hot and just ride him to the end. See if you can just let one receiver carry the distance.
Move the chains again. Now Bowers on the option, keeping it himself, diving ahead as he does a baseball slide across midfield. And a great pickup there by the senior QB.
Stopped by number 13, John Parton for Maiden.
Stop made by John Parton, outside linebacker.
And Tyler, I know we talked about it earlier with Jacob Blevins in on defense, but how about Joseph Louder? See him out there playing a little wide receiver for the Huskies.
That is an interesting sight to see. I believe he may have lined up a little bit on offense last week. Maybe he and Blevins flip-flopping just a bit there, with Blevins playing on defense and Louder being brought in on the offensive side as a wideout. And Bowers looking in his direction, got to decide if he's going to get rid of it, and he eventually just chucks this one into the Maiden sideline.
Hunter Bauer throwing that ball away.
Had to get rid of that one, was feeling the heat in the backfield.
Third down now coming up for the Huskies.
That time, I believe, maybe again getting to him was number 55, Josh Danner. So the senior defensive end making his presence known in the backfield once again. Able to disrupt Bowers that time. Force a third down and short situation here for the Huskies. We'll call it 3rd down and 3. Ball on the Maiden 49-yard line. Tight set this time. Bowers dropping back, airing this one all the way. Great defense downfield, finds the seam and completes the pass. There's to Jacob Blevins, refusing to go down, still on his feet, finally going to be forced out of bounds. Not before he picks up another Ashe County first down.
A great throw by your senior quarterback, especially on 3rd down. Just absolute pinpoint accuracy. Puts that right in there. And Blevins does some work after the catch. Puts Ashe near the red zone.
Oh, and now a late flag being called, and that's a holding penalty. Boy, that was thrown late, Nate.
We didn't even see the flag at first. We were up here kind of celebrating that catch, but right there, the refs obviously saw a hold somewhere, and that'll really back them up.
So the first penalty of the game, I called it a minute ago. I said we hadn't seen one yet. And of course, the first one would be a very unfortunate one for Ashe County, to say the least, negating a huge play downfield that almost had them into red zone territory.
A tough one there for Ashe. Turns a great scoring chance into a 3rd and long here, just over 3 minutes left in this first half.
So they're going to mark it down 3rd and 20 from their own 39. Bowers, feeling the heat, just has to throw that one in the dirt. Barnes was open, but Bowers just had to throw that one off his back feet, make sure that one was not picked, and that's going to force the Huskies into an obvious punting situation.
Just under 3 minutes left to play in the first half of the game. Huskies lead 6-0.
So McNeil on to boot this one away on 4th and 20 from their own 34-yard line. Maybe mishandled that one a bit, a low roller, and that's going to actually take a Maiden bounce, and when it was all said and done, will be spotted at the 36-yard line. Ashe County touched it dead, and we'll see the Blue Devils come onto the field with some pretty decent starting position for themselves. While we have a minute here, and the team switching squads on the field. Also, Ashe County is not the only team in action here tonight, Nate, as we do have plenty of Mountain Valley Conference teams and area squads, including Watauga and Avery in action. At last check, Starmount was leading their contest 20-7 over Cherryville. And another score we have here, Elkin in a tight one right now. Elkin 13, West Columbus 12. 1st and 10 for Maiden. Farley takes a high snap, swings it out here, and the pass incomplete. Just dropped it that time, did Tony Hernandez.
Complete pass intended for number 20. Tony Hernandez.
One more score to pass along. Obviously not the Mountain Valley Conference, but North Davidson all over Watauga early, 21-6 in the first quarter.
I knew that would be a stiff one there for Watauga. Tried to come up with a win off of the mountain against the higher-seeded Davidson team. A little surprised Watauga finished with just a 10 seed there in the 4A state playoffs despite the 8-3 record. Now this going to the ground game and nothing doing there. Xavion Huff wrapped up almost immediately. Brandon Blevins getting the first hit.
Good job by the Ashe defense continuing to lay some hits on these Maiden Blue Devil runners.
Laying the lumber to him, and that's going to bring up another 3rd and long situation. 3rd down and 9 to go here for the Blue Devils. Ball on their own 37-yard line. Ashe County pitching a shutout, 6-0 with just over 2 minutes to go before the locker room break. 3 wide set, split backs. Farley in the gun. Huff going out to the left. He looks his way, decides to keep it himself, trying to find some room, and it quickly closes. Ball comes loose. Ashe County has the football. And they come up with another huge turnover, and that is going to be Kenny Reed recovering that one, and there's the official signal, Ashe County ball.
How about heads up by Kenny Reed? I don't think anybody else on the field even realized there was a fumble, except for probably Farley and Reed able to come up with that one. Will set Ashe up nicely here at the 41-yard line.
Of course, it is completely different circumstances, but reminiscent of the Utah-Oregon game from this last weekend. The guy drops the ball at the 1-yard line. Nobody's even paying attention. Oregon player scoops it up and goes the distance for the touchdown, similar to what Reed did there, although it was a lot quicker reaction by the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job by Reed to set the Husky offense up here with just under 2 minutes left.
On Maiden 41, firing deep, pass is caught, and then some. McNeil breaking away inside the 20, the 15. Oh, he's going to be knocked out at the 16-yard line, but a nice job there getting some extra yardage before he's forced out of bounds.
Yeah, McNeil took a hit right there. Couldn't tell if that was a mouthpiece that went flying or a chin strap, but either way, McNeil paid the price for that one. Great job hanging on, and terrific pass by Connor Bowers.
So into red zone again come the Ashe County Huskies. This is actually their first trip into the red zone tonight. The only other time they scored, it was an 81-yard touchdown pass from Bowers to Mason McNeil. He has been the go-to guy tonight for the Huskies, and despite a pair of dropped passes, he has shown his ability to get the ball deep downfield and hang on to those passes. Now a two-back set for the Huskies, sort of an offset I formation. Sullivan gets the call, and he's going to be down there just outside the 10-yard line. Mark him down at the 11, where it'll be second down and about 5 yards to go for the Ashe County Huskies. And another score to pass along your way. Allegheny locked in a battle with Bishop McGuinness, nothing. At last check in that ball game. Here's the offset I formation yet again. Another handoff goes to Sullivan, and he is bottled up almost immediately. Little to no gain that time. Well, I'll tell you, the big guy for Maiden on defense all night has been number 55, Josh Danner, in on another tackle.
Yeah, he's been a key guy. And how about call out to the Ashe offensive line? Haven't heard the name Dallas Woods all night. He's been such a key part to that Maiden defense all season long. He's been held in check all night long.
Yeah, 85 tackles for him, DeLace Woods, and 10 for loss. Big-time player. Now under a minute to go. 3rd down and 5. Ball on the 10-yard line. Pass to the left side is caught, and into the end zone goes Jacob Blevins. Tack on 6 more for the Ashe County Huskies.
Nice little slant route by Blevins. Perfect throw by Bowers. And how about the Huskies taking a nice little 2-possession lead here late in the second quarter.
He's called it there. Slant, check, and touchdown, check again. As we hear the siren sound here, the air raid. Richardson on for this PAT. This one is true. So lucky number 13 for the Huskies. Still pitching a shutout against Maiden Blue Devils, 13-0. And surprising more than just these Maiden fans, I believe.
Absolutely. A lot of people discrediting Ashe early on. We've lost 3 straight playoff games to teams from this conference. And a lot of people thought it would be 4 straight after tonight, but right now, Ashe looking pretty good after one half of football.
Yeah, the Huskies going back there. Meant to mention it there before the ball game. They have not won a playoff contest in 7 years, going back to the 07 team.
You know, we've had some chances and let some slip away, but hopefully this Ashe team will learn from last year. We had a lead, couldn't hold it. But hopefully this time around the Huskies will hang on to this lead.
Exactly what I was going to say, most notably, and fresh in the minds of many of these Ashe County players, and of course, I'm sure head coach Brian Hampton, among others, that bitter defeat they had last year where it seemed they pretty much manhandled Bunker Hill, but still managed to lose the ball game.
Yeah, if you talk to Coach Hampton, he'll tell you right out of the gate, they made a bunch of adjustments there in the second half, able to slow down the Huskies and just crawl right back in it, and able to steal one on the road.
34.5 seconds to go. Ashe County leading 13-0 here on Friday Night Football on Sky Zone Sports, brought to you once again by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson. And an update on the Allegheny Bishop McGuinness game. Allegheny has found pay dirt, and they lead early in that contest 6-0. 13-0 is where we stand here, and another low kick going to be rolled and fielded. Finally back, and still some trouble handling it at his own 16-yard line, and no room to work yet again. Ashe County Huskies, can't call his name enough. Evan Owen already with an INT, and they're a big tackle on special teams.
Evan Owen keeps doing a little bit of everything for the Huskies. We've seen him on special teams, defense, and offense all season long. He's been that Energizer Bunny back there, just keeping the energy, keeping everything flowing for the Huskies.
Going and going and going. This Husky defense and offense going strong tonight. 28.1 seconds on the clock. We'll see what Maiden chooses to do with 2 timeouts, knowing that they will have the ball coming out of the gates to start the second half. Farley all kinds of room to work up the middle, but it closes very quickly. He gets out just shy of the 20-yard line.
Caleb Farley holds on to the ball, but is stopped by Sean Baker, number 52, gain of about 5 on the play. Second down.
Bring up second down as that clock just continues to roll on. Looks like Maiden content just to get out of this half, only trailing by a couple of scores. They do get off one last snap here. Farley dodging, ducking his way, and nothing doing there once again. Bottled up almost immediately. Ashe County closing in quickly and finishing a strong first half of play with emphatic fashion. 13-0, Nate.
Oh, great half of football if you're a Husky fan. For Maiden, they got to go back to the drawing board right here. They've got really just 2 players involved. They're going to have to figure out something else on offense because the Husky defense certainly has them figured out.
So an exciting first half of play comes to an end. Your Ashe County Huskies up in a big way, 13-0, 2-score lead, and riding high right now, feeling positive as they head to the locker rooms. And we'll be back with second half action after the halftime show here from Ashe County High School. Playoff style of Friday night football here on Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD channels 1 and 1001.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Good evening once again. Welcome back into Ashe County High School Husky Stadium for a chilly edition of Friday Night Football. 18 degrees it was at kickoff. Winds continue, and we've had a few snow flurries around the area. It started last night and throughout the day and still taking place here tonight. The Ashe County Huskies standing strong after the first half, defending their home field where they are undefeated on the season and looking to keep it that way, leading the Maiden Blue Devils here in the first round of the state playoffs 13-0 after the first half of play. And Nate, the Huskies looking strong to say the least.
Ashe doing what they hope to do in this game. Pass the ball well, play some defense, and so far, that's exactly what they've done. 2 more passing touchdowns for Bowers. Defense pitching a shutout so far. Hoping for 2 more quarters of that and get us a spot in the second round.
As we talked about before, 7 years since the Ashe County Huskies won a state playoff football game, and looking to end that drought this season, as you said, end that drought against the 7th District 2A Conference.
It would certainly be a big-time win for Ashe. Haven't had much success against them as of late, but you know, this year, whole new team. So Ashe so far trying to not let what happened to them last year affect them this season.
And a squib kick going to be handled by the QB, Caleb Farley, at the 25-yard line, dancing around to the left side, finding some room, now shaking off one defender, and finally going to be plowed down out near the 40-yard line, marking him down about the 38 to be exact. And that is where we will see this Blue Devil offense, scoreless so far in tonight's game, take over first down and 10 to crank up action here in the second half. Ashe County won the opening coin toss, elected to receive. A little bit of it, breaking the trend a bit for Coach Hampton. That's 2 weeks in a row that he has won the opening coin toss and did not defer to the second half as he tended to do all of last season. Back to the action now. First play from scrimmage here in the second half. Handoff goes to Huff. He's off to the races at the 40. The 35, one man to beat. Can Reed knock him down? He makes a diving effort, and no, he cannot. And just like that, momentum has shifted in this ball game. Maiden finds pay dirt, and adios, Senor Huff.
Big time run by Huff. You hate to see that coming right out of the gate, but exactly what Maiden wanted. Had to get back in this game, and big time run there. I believe a 62-yarder reeled off by the sophomore back.
So man, oh man, what a run to say the least. Now stands at 13-6, and this ball game just got much more interesting. Exactly what you don't want if you're Ashe County. And an interesting set here. It looks like they're going to go for 2, and indeed they are. Running over here to the right side, throwing to the corner of the end zone, and picked off. Solid play there by Kenny Reed. Nate, we saw that exact play last week, basically, from Elkin, except they were successful on it.
They were, and I believe you said something along the lines earlier. They haven't hit a field goal all year, and we might know why now based on that. Simply just going for 2 there, even though they were only down 7 points, but had to go for 2, I guess. Didn't feel very confident in their place kicking duties, but Maiden strikes first here in the second half.
Just 24 seconds into the third period, Maiden has pulled within 1 score now. Ashe County had all the momentum on their side entering the half. Maiden quickly bucks that trend as they take it all the way to the house for a touchdown. I believe that one was about a 64-yard touchdown rush by Xavion Huff, a man who came into this game. He tallied 7 100-yard games on the season, Nate, so he knows how to break away on those big gainers.
He's been an absolute terror in the backfield for Maiden. Nice little 1-2 combo with the quarterback.
And on to kick this one off, Isaiah Holdren. Ashe set up deep to return this one. And Whistle's gonna blow this one dead as we see a flag fly onto the field. As we see backed up deep for the Huskies, Jacob Levins, Mason McNeil, and Carter Calhoun to return the kickoff. So that's an offsides against Maiden. Back them up 5. So the Huskies primed here to get some better field position. And with the kicking game, or lack thereof, from Maiden, could give the Huskies a nice break here and get this offense started in great field position. Low line drive kick going to be fielded at the 24-yard line with some room to work there. Trying to find a seam up the middle, tries to bounce off one tackler, but finally brought down there just shy of the 40-yard line. It was Jacob Levins on the return, so the Huskies will take over solid field position from their own 39.
Yeah, good return there by Blevins. Hopefully Ashe not having too far to go here for a score will help out the at least the offensive mindset a little bit.
Ashe looking to respond after giving up the first touchdown of the game to Maiden. Had their lead trimmed now 13-6, firing quickly here on the near side to Mason McNeil. Pass is caught. Just a gain of about 3 yards there on that play, however. But Mason McNeil, that's what, got to be his 4th or 5th catch already at least in this ballgame.
They're doing a good job feeding him. He's the guy that Bowers is really feeling a good rhythm with, and obviously he's able to get open against this Blue Devil defense.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 on their own 44-yard line. Now on the delay handoff, but Barnes trying to find some room to the outside. Nice job there, scampering away from a would-be tackler in the backfield, Danner. And he's going to move it up there for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
That'll set up a nice little 3rd and short here. Playbook wide open for Bowers and the Huskies.
Mark him down 2 yards short of the 1st down mark. Big 3rd down situation. Ashe going to try to respond. Answer the Maiden touchdown. Less than 2 minutes into the second half of the contest. Ball on their own 47-yard line. Bowers in the gun, 4 wide set. And the ball moves across midfield, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Ashe County Huskies.
Just a simple little play call there, run the ball right up the middle. 1st down for Ashe.
So switches fields and gets it quickly into Maiden territory. Down to their 47-yard line, where it will be 1st down and 10 for the Huskies. 4 wide set now, twin receivers to the left and right. Barnes joining Bowers in the backfield. He gets the handoff, dances off one tackler, and finally going to be wrapped up. It gets it down inside the 45-yard line. Picks up about 3-4 yards there. Not a bad play on 1st and 10.
Barnes on another carry, this time stopped by number 13, John Parton.
That's going to be John Parton on the stop, the outside linebacker. Call his name a few times tonight, having a solid showing on the defensive side of the ball for Maiden. The Ashe County Huskies, one thing we haven't seen, Nate, tonight, and worked almost to perfection against Elkin, is the screen plays.
Yeah, and obviously that's something Coach Hampton saw against that Elkin defense he liked the looks of.
Now airmailing it across the middle, has his man, but incomplete, led him a bit too much. Looking in the way of junior wideout Mason McNeil, and he's a little slow to get up. So trying to catch Maiden off guard in that secondary. Been able to break away 2 big-time gainers tonight via the air. Not successful that time, however, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Four wide once again, shotgun set. Play action, this one again looking in the way of McNeil, but just threw it short in behind the receiver.
Yeah, it just looked like Connor short-armed that one just a little bit. McNeil was wide open there, but the throw just a little bit off.
So now 4th down, and a little surprising here, Nate. 4th and 7 on the Maiden 44. Ashe going to try to pin them deep, bringing on the kicking team.
Yeah, I guess they just want to hope they can pin them deep here and have the defense do their job. Hopefully play like they were doing in the first half and not on that second play from scrimmage.
Exactly.
Here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, try to regroup. There's a high snap, though, and that's going to roll all the way back. McNeil going to turn around and does get a punt off. My goodness, and boy, all said and done, that's a heck of a kick, and bobbled a bit, but able to hang on to it is the return man, Hernandez. But all said and done there, could have been a lot worse, Nate.
Oh, big-time play there from McNeil. Usually you don't see a punter get that much recognition here, but great athletic ability by McNeil to go pick that one up, and still got a pretty darn good punt off here. Gonna back Maiden up here to their own 25.
Yeah, to say the least, a solid punt. As, you know, even if he had gotten off a burner there from where they were, may have been on the 20, a touchback. But that's a heck of a job by Mason McNeil. How he got that off, I couldn't tell you. There's some bobbled snap by Farley trying to break away over here to the near side, and now cutting it back upfield out across the 35, the 40. See you later. 35, 30, 20. Nobody's going to catch him, and Farley takes it the distance, and now Maiden is 1 point away from tying up this ball game.
Just a complete change of momentum here in this 3rd quarter. Maiden came out fired up out of the locker room, and Ashe just looking a bit sluggish. Another big, long run for the Blue Devils.
So 2 quick scores make things a lot more interesting and change the landscape of this ball game by a big-time margin, as now they're going to line up here and most likely go for 2 points and the lead. Will the Maiden Blue Devils at 8:54 mark here in the 3rd period. It was all Ashe County in the first half, as you well know. So here we go. 2-point conversion attempt coming here to the near side, tossing it now the end zone wide open, and Maiden has the lead. Making it look easy on that 2-point conversion, and the Ashe County lead that they worked so hard to gain there in that first half has come back to haunt them. Just 3 minutes. Boy, I tell you what, just unable to wrap up. Farley one time on that last play, Huff on the second play from scrimmage in this 3rd period. And Nate, this looks like a completely different Ashe County defense.
Yeah, Ashe did a great job in the first half, limiting how much running room both of those 2 guys have. But in the 3rd quarter so far, both guys have just gotten a ton of running room. Shout out to the Blue Devil offensive line, helping them out quite a bit. Got them some running lanes, and those 2 speedsters putting Maiden back in front.
There's a reason those 2 guys have went over 1,500 all-purpose yards this season. Farley, talking about him with his rushing yards, over 1,400 on the season. And then the tailback, just a sophomore as well, Xavion Huff. He has 12 touchdowns on the season and over 1,100 yards rushing. Just a combined dual threat out of that backfield. I'll tell you what, Forte, we haven't called his name yet tonight, but Asani Forte, number 5, he also has right at 500 yards rushing on the season. So it's really a 3-headed monster, sort of reminiscent of what we saw from High Brighton and sort of the offense that they try to run. It seems like these guys from Maiden are even quicker and faster than the Panthers.
Yeah, maybe not as much depth as High Brighton, but you're exactly right. They've got 3 very talented kids, and we've only seen 2 of them used so far tonight. But you can bet if something happens to Huff or Farley, they would not have a worry in the world turning to Forte.
You talk about a quick strike offense. They've had, I believe, 3 plays, 4 from scrimmage at most here in the second half, and they put up 14 big points already. Yep. And in just over 3 minutes in this second half, they've scored 2 unanswered touchdowns. Blevins almost breaking away there. Still a solid return from the senior return man. And he's going to get it out there just shy of the 45-yard line. And Ashe County with some great field position, trying to respond once again here, trailing for the first time in tonight's ball game, 14-13 at the 8:46 mark in the 3rd period.
And we'll get to see what kind of character the Huskies have. Absolutely been punched in the mouth to start the second half. We'll see if Bowers can lead them down the field.
Certainly not an unusual situation for the Huskies after the last couple of weeks. And a big-time hit unloading. We've called his name 4 or 5 times tonight. Make it another time now. Josh Danner, senior defensive end, making his presence known on that line of scrimmage.
A big hit there. Thankfully, Sullivan held on to that football.
So call it a gain of a pair that time. Makes it 2nd down and 8. And Nate, as we said, which Husky team are we going to see? The one that got punched in the mouth against Starmount, never recovered, and failed to really get anything going throughout that ball game, or as the pass falls incomplete there, once again, are we going to see the team that played against Elkin was able to respond in a big-time fashion and wind up coming back to win that one, outscoring Elkin 34-8 after trailing 12-zip?
Yeah, good comparison there. Starmount really put it on us early, never had an answer, but Elkin took a 2-score lead, and we bounced back really quick. So hopefully Ashe will learn a lot from that last regular season game, come out here and move the ball down the field.
Big-time 3rd and 8 situation. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did, and but out comes the penalty. Mason McNeil geared up because I believe they're going to get a defensive pass interference call.
And I believe it'll be the right call there. Couldn't tell who was in there on the coverage, but certainly got there early. You heard the coaching staff and the crowd yelling for it.
So Ashe County catches a break, and you hear the Husky faithful that are out here tonight braving the storm, so to speak, with this cold weather, cheering happily with that call as the flag flies. And here comes the march by the referee to take this one downfield. So the personal foul penalty will give Ashe County 1st down, mark it down to the Blue Devil 39-yard line, and gives Ashe County a fresh set of downs. Finally, Nate, something positive for the Ashe County Huskies.
Yeah, good to see them back in Maiden territory right here. Need to cap this drive off with a score if they can.
Dodging trouble, throwing on the run, deep downfield, pass is caught, stretching for the end zone, and back on 6 more for the Ashe County Huskies. Jacob Levin stretching ahead, making a valiant effort, and takes it across that goal line.
Big-time play by your senior wide receiver there. He's slow getting up. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But I tell you what, just leaving it all on the line right there. 39-yard strike.
And as you said there, Blevins slow to get up, finally does, but favoring that right leg, and that's the one that's been giving him trouble. Limited in practice. It was doubted that he would even play tonight as of a couple of days ago, but gave it a go at practice yesterday and started both on offense and defense for the Huskies tonight. Boy, a valiant effort from him here with the injured leg that's really plagued him all season. It's actually some trouble with the nerve at the right upper part of his leg, and there he comes out of this game and probably doubtful for the remainder of this action tonight.
Yeah, you got to hope maybe just a little bit of maybe a hit on that, kind of irritated a little bit, won't be too serious, but nonetheless, great play there. Playing through the pain, holds on to a big-time touchdown catch.
And the extra point attempt is no good. So the Huskies will have to settle for 6, 19-14 at the 7:55 mark. But you got to give the Ashe County Huskies a lot of credit, Nate. This looks like the team we saw last week against Elkin. It took the shot in the mouth and answered right back with 34 to 8 points as we see Blevins getting worked on there, and finally momentum back to the Huskies' favor for the first time in this second half.
And now we're seeing the kind of football game we expected to see. Lots of points, lots of yards being picked up, 3 touchdowns in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter here. We'll see who wants this the most down the stretch, see which defense can make a few plays.
We apologize for some technical difficulties here, I believe, combined with all the folks here and the cold weather and everything, having some technical difficulties experienced with some video footage. We do apologize for that. Bear with us. We're trying to get the problem resolved. So at the 7:55 mark, Ashe County will kick this one away. And it's going to be Ashe County back in the lead now, 19-14, as the Huskies have been able to answer the call and regain the lead against the Maiden Blue Devils. Richardson on to boot this one away. Low line drive kick. Going to be rolled down and fielded inside the 25-yard line, trying to find some room back up the field. And a pretty good return there from Maiden as they'll have solid field position to start off this drive as they look to respond after momentarily gaining the lead, only to see the Huskies retake it right back.
Yeah, now Ashe, it's their turn on defense to make a stop here. Unfortunately, good kick return there from Farley, puts it up near midfield. Ashe defense really needs to step up, make a play right here.
Handed it off, Huff off the left side, and there's that Husky defensive front we saw in the first half. Welcome back.
Yeah, that's more like it right there. Huff just hits a wall, gain of a yard.
So call it actually there about 2 yard pickup. That gets it into Ashe County territory very quickly on the Husky 49-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 8 here, 7:20 mark. In the third period, Ashe County leading by 5, 19-14 in a tightly contested battle. Farley in the gun, 4 wide set. Option keeps it himself. Brandon Blevins in from behind, knocks him down after a gain of about 3 yards. Nice job there by the senior defenseman. And that's going to bring up 3rd and about 5 yards to go. So right here, the Huskies where they want to be as far as defensive speaks.
Absolutely, good job there by the Ashe defense. 3rd and pretty manageable for Maiden, but definitely not a guarantee here at 5 yards. Ashe defense hoping to make a big stop right here.
Ashe County pitched a shutout impressively in the first half and gave up 2 huge plays in a span of 3 minutes. Led to 2 scores. Farley keeps it himself and nowhere to go. No, sir, says Baker. Sean Baker stepping up big time there again for the Huskies. Just a gain of about a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down and 4 to go for the Blue Devils.
And it looks like Maiden going to bring on that punting team, hoping to pin Ashe deep. It worked for Ashe when they punted the first time around, trying to pin them deep, see if Maiden can return the favor.
This team's been a little more conservative in this second half, Nate, on the special teams play.
Yeah, closer game. You know, a lot on the line. You'd like to hope your defense can pull one out with the cold weather like this, low-scoring ball game. But these offenses have been powerful all year, and you got to think this isn't the last score we'll see tonight.
And a low snap. Can he get it away? No, he cannot. He is not able to pull a Mason McNeil. Bradley Lucas alongside
Sam Hudler.
Sam Hudler, yes, sir.
Get some quality special teams time here. Read that perfectly, went in and helped Bradley Lucas bring them down.
So how about these Huskies, Nate? Just when you think they may be done for with giving up the 2 quick scores and momentum completely shifts in the Blue Devils' favor, they have now gained it back in emphatic fashion.
Oh, absolutely. You know this Ashe team, they haven't quit all year long. Even in that storm-out game, the Rams gave it to them, but they kept battling.
First down, play action. Bowers scampering away, just tosses it over here to the near side to Barnes. A little room to work, checks off 1 man, and finally going to be brought down, but some solid yardage gained. He stopped right at the 30-yard line. And move those chains. That is good enough for an Ashe County first down by the slimmest of margins to the 31-yard line. So a roller coaster second half so far continues. As Husky's going to go back to the air again off of play action. Fires a dart and hung on to as Mason McNeil turn up the field. You're not going to get him. 10-5, touchdown Huskies.
Another just tremendous play to Mason McNeil. Big time catch and run by the junior wideout.
And some nice blocks downfield, and there's an injured Blue Devil here on the Husky sideline. How about that though, Nate? Mason McNeil, another touchdown grab for him, and the Huskies, they're back in business now up by a couple of scores.
Yeah, it's turning into that shootout we thought we would see. Lots of offense now, but hopefully we'll see most of the offense coming from Ashe the rest of the way.
So here's the 5:03 mark. Ashe has regained the lead or tacked onto the lead, I should say. We're trailing 14-13 right out of the gates here in the second half after 3 minutes. When you coming out of the break, and you're looking up at that scoreboard feeling pretty good about yourself, up 13-0. Give up 14 quick points, however. Find yourselves down. Don't know how the Huskies are going to respond, but tell you what, a lot of poise and composure by these guys. They've been in these situations before, and I feel that now there's not much sense of panic when they get down.
Yeah, lots of good senior leadership on this team. Coach Hampton always over there on the sideline preaching discipline, preaching to his kids. The game's never over. Just keep fighting. Coach Hampton said it all year. These kids fight harder than probably any team he's coached. And, we're seeing it right now tonight. They could have folded easily, absolutely giving up 2 big running plays. Maiden took a lead. But instead, the Huskies just continually going back to what they do well, throwing downfield. And so far, Maiden defense, no answer for it.
And you talk about it there, that Starmount game where they got down really for the first time in a very long time, did the Huskies. And some coaches and people would say there's no such thing as a good loss. And while that was not pretty at all, maybe that was a good loss, Nate, as it shows these guys they're right back in this thing here and able to respond now. And we saw it last week again against Elkin.
Yeah, absolutely. This team's just full of tough guys. And speaking of tough guys, we see Jacob Blevins out there on the field for this 2-point conversion. Hopefully, as we said, nothing serious for him. He can help the Huskies down the stretch.
Huskies up by 9, looking to make it a couple of more, and easy as that. Who else? Mason McNeil, give them 2 more, and that'll stretch this lead, from 11 up to 13 points. 27-14, the Ashe County Huskies look to be in business yet again.
And I'm telling you, tonight, man, it's just Mason McNeil's world. We're just living in it. Just a tremendous game from our big play wide receiver.
So 5:03 remaining in this third period. The Huskies tack on 2 more with the 2-point conversion, making it 27-14. And another beautiful pass by Connor Bowers. He's not thrown many bad ones here tonight, Nate.
Yeah, he's had a couple that looked like they were affected by the wind a little bit. But in these conditions, you're certainly going to see that happen. But so far, no turnovers, just completely dominating Maiden through the air. Just a terrific game so far, and hopefully just keep it rolling through the rest of the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, we've had some turbulence here at the Ashe County Airport, but no grounding of flights for this air raid offense here tonight.
Yeah, well said. They got plenty of lights to land it down here, but the wind could play a factor.
As I mentioned again, 18 degrees at the kickoff. Wind chill value expected to be as low as 6 above, but Huskies just getting heated up here tonight. This kick return will be fielded out across the 40-45. Ankle tackle is made. I'll tell you what, these gaps are opening up more frequently for this Maiden squad, however.
Yeah, Maiden's definitely got their backs up against the wall a little bit here, but you got to give them some credit. They blocked a whole lot better here in the third quarter. Besides those 2 long run plays, they've had 2 kick returns close to midfield.
As you said, it nearly identical starting field position as their last drive. Right at this time on the 48, last time it was the 49-yard line. But 1st and 10, under 5 minutes remaining here on the Friday Night Football Sky Zone Sports Game of the Week. Ashe County High School first-round state playoffs. Huff still on his feet, trying to rip the ball away that time was Brandon Blevins. Huff nearly was able to scoot away from him, but closing the gap quickly there. Sam Hudler making another very nice play, and alongside him was number 52, Sean Baker. There's the idea from Hudler, Nate. He's got a hoodie on under that jersey.
Hey, I'm telling you, you know what you got to do out there. You see some linemen out there, no sleeves on, no anything. They have to act tough, but when you're in the secondary, you can get away with wearing a hooded sweatshirt under your jersey.
So now 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain on first down play. Flag flies. And looks like that might be against the Maiden Blue Devils. Waiting on the official word. And Nate, speaking of these cold weather conditions, a little bit of an interesting story. I believe it may have been when Maiden's last visit up to the high country in football. I believe it was 77, and a story heard from Coach Payne, and I believe it may have been at Allegheny High School. The former coach at Maiden High School came up, I think similar conditions, cold weather, and their coach came up in T-shirt and shorts during the game and didn't want his team to get cold.
Hey, I tell you, you know what? Sometimes you motivate your team, motivate them like that, make them, think it's a nice sunny day in Florida out there, even if it is about 10 degrees, and you don't even want to get off the bus. But if your coach walks out there in shorts and a T-shirt, you really, you can't say much about it. You got to go out there and play.
Don't see anybody in shorts out here tonight, though.
You know what? There might be somebody. We can't really see the whole field. You never know. There might be some crazy guy out there.
So the penalty was actually declined, so it's going to be 3rd down. About 7 yards to go, and some more early movement up front. And this could be another penalty against Maiden. And indeed it will be false start against that offense, so back them on up.
That second time that offensive line's made a miscue. The last time was didn't line up correctly. This time a false start. Ashe will take this one and force a 3rd and long.
So right about back just at the original line of scrimmage to start this drive. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10, 4 wide set, trips to the left. Farley in the gun, dropping back, airing it all the way, trying to evade tacklers, and chucks it over here to the near sideline. A great job there by Ashe County, going to get this Maiden offense off the field quickly.
And good pressure by Jason Baker, not giving up on it there, forces Farley to roll out, and just had to throw that one away. No one open. As you said, great stand by the Ashe defense.
We know who's going to win in a foot race between Farley and Baker, but still relentless pursuit and not giving up anything there and forcing the errant throw. So a punting situation as we see the kicking team come onto the field for the Blue Devils. Kicking from their own 47-yard line. Punter backed up to his own 35. Ashe setting up to return. Hey Mason, a few guys here to try to go after this one, Nate.
Looks like it did send several guys, but just couldn't get there.
Barely gets it away. Here's McNeil, fielding it from his own 25. Find a little bit of room, not much. Going to be wrapped up and finally slung to the ground in emphatic fashion by number 64, Preston Hester, senior defensive tackle. And he's a hoss out there at 6'1", 254. This Ashe County offense comes back onto the field looking to duplicate what they've done the last couple of times they've had the ball, which is put up another touchdown on that scoreboard. This time they'll start from their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. 3:24 to go in this 3rd period. Handoff up the middle, spinning around is Sullivan, and carrying the pile and works it there close to a 1st down.
Great job there by your sophomore tailback. Now is the time you'd like to see the Ashe offense run the football. So many people have, kind of griped and complained about that all year. Even though we're 9-1, you got to find something to complain about, I guess. But you can run the clock down here a little bit, just ease the clock the rest of the way, keep good possession of that football, get out of here with a victory. 2nd
down, about 2 yards to go. Bowers dropping back, throwing all the way. Nice check down. Over the head of Sky Sullivan. I spoke a bit too soon. He had room to work if he was able to reel that one in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people saw some green there. I think Connor saw a wide open running back with lots of room, and Sky Sullivan did the same, and just didn't work out, unfortunately.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 situation as Blevins back onto the field again for the Huskies. Well, you got to admire the heart of that kid.
Absolutely. He's laying it all on the line for his Huskies tonight.
And handoff goes to Sullivan fighting forward. It's going to be close to a 1st down. Was he stopped short, depending on the spot? Looks like he's going to be just shy of that 1st down marker. An unfortunate break there for Ashe County. About a yard to go or less. We'll see what Ashe County chooses to do here. Maybe some trickery from Coach Brian Hampton. May roll the dice right here, and it looks like he's going to.
I'll tell you, with just it looks to be about less than a yard. I tell you, with their size up front, our powerful running back Sullivan in the backfield, would not be surprised at all to go for it.
4th and a short 1 from your own 42. There's some movement, but getting back on side is that defensive line of Maiden. This may be just a time where they want to get a try a hard snap count and draw that defensive line off sides. Bowers in the gun, 4 wide set, handed off to Sullivan. He's racing ahead, stopped almost immediately, but wasn't enough for the 1st. It looks like it might be. Maybe too close to call. I'd say we're going to get a measurement here, Nate. He got around a yard, and referees waving a stoppage of the clock, and I believe they're going to bring on that chain gang.
That's a terrible spot.
I don't know. That looks like it might be a touch short.
It's going to be close.
Hopefully my eyes are getting a little older on me. I can't tell, but from up here, it looks like it might be a bit short.
We're going to get a good view right here as they're going to stretch this chain out. And by the nose of the ball, they get it by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, Tyler, I'm getting old, but I'm glad I missed that one.
1st down, Ashe County, by the slimmest of margins.
new set of downs now from the 43-yard line. Just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
So under 2 minutes to go, and Ashe County now with a fresh set of downs. Didn't need but about a yard. They got it. And that keeps this drive alive. Play action now, looking deep down this near sideline. Has a step on the fenders, but a great job recovering. Does Tony Hernandez, being double covered there, was Jacob Blevins on the near sideline. Maybe just a bit more touch on that pass, and it could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, would have took a perfect throw there, but nonetheless, they did a good job covering up. But you can't blame Connor for taking a deep shot there. Blevins has the legs to make that run. Don't blame him at all.
So just a bit underthrown there, as you said, would have taken a perfect pass to complete it with the double coverage. So that's going to force a 2nd down and 10 situation. Ball still on the Husky 43-yard line. This time going to the ground, and Sullivan going to be wrapped up after picking up a yard, maybe 2.
Sky Sullivan on the carry is able to gain about a yard before being stopped by several Maiden defenders.
So that's going to make it 3rd down and about 8 yards to go for the first. Just over a minute remaining in this 3rd period. Ashe County on top now by a couple of scores, 27-14. In a roller coaster 2nd half. 3 wide set for the Huskies. Airing it all the way, going across the middle. Pass is caught. A perfect pass is delivered and reeled in by Mason McNeil. The ball popped out afterward, but he was down by contact already.
Great catch by McNeil. Great throw by Bowers on 3rd down. Keeps the drive alive, and most importantly, the clock's going to restart here. Ashe will have the ball at least for the rest of the 3rd quarter. Hopefully they'll keep it in the 4th quarter, put some points up.
You talk about for Ashe County, I know Maiden can put up points in a hurry, but if Ashe can, and it looks like indeed will, milk this clock for the rest of this 3rd quarter and then able to work a couple of minutes off in the 4th and get another score, you got to think it's going to be do or die time for the Maiden Blue Devils.
Absolutely, you have to feel good, especially since Maiden just lives off that rushing attack.
Now Bowers feeling the heat, zigzags one defender, now going to be brought down, can't get rid of it, nowhere to go is for the senior QB, and he's going to be forced down, and that was Preston Hester delivering the final blow.
We haven't called his name all night till now, but Delayus Woods absolutely just pressures him off the left side, and Bowers just had nowhere to go. Tried to make something out of nothing, but big loss there for Ashe.
And there's going to be a holding penalty against Ashe. That one will be declined. You talked about it, though, Nate. Delayus Woods hadn't called his name yet. You knew you would eventually.
Yeah, just too good of an athlete on the side over there. Big target to have in the passing game as well when they use him. He's a tight end, but on defense, an absolute terror over there off the defensive end.
Yes.
And really earned it right there.
You said it there, 6'3", 208, senior defensive end and tight end. So now the clock will be reset. Ashe now backed all the way to their own 41-yard line, 2nd and 23 to go, so a couple downs to play with. Not a bad idea here, setting up the screen. Sullivan out across the 45-yard line. Not going to be a big-time gainer there, but a solid pickup of yards on 2nd and long. And as time winds down, under 10 seconds, Huskies will not get off another snap. The 3rd quarter will come to a close. Ashe County in a tough situation here as far as this drive is concerned, but looking pretty good overall, leading after 3, 27-14. Stay tuned in here on Sky Zone Sports for the 4th and final quarter of first-round playoff football from Ashe County High School.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Team takes the field. We're ready for the 4th and final quarter. Tonight's first-round state playoff matchup between the Ashe County Huskies and the visiting Maiden Blue Devils. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham. Nate, it's been an exciting game, especially that 3rd quarter. A lot of points put up on the board, more like we were used to seeing or thought we would see coming into this game.
Yeah, exactly right there. Both offenses had to get something going there in the 3rd. We'll see what lies ahead in the 4th.
Launching a bomb down the far sideline, but over the head of the intended man, looking in the way of Jacob Blevins that time.
Long pass intended for number 80, Jacob Blevins, incomplete. We have 4th and long now coming up for the Huskies.
So now that's going to bring up 4th and only 21 to go, Nate.
Yeah, we got something in the playbook for that. It's called a punt.
So an obvious punting situation, to say the least, for the Ashe County Huskies, as Mason McNeil will come onto the field. And the Huskies' hopes of running more minutes off that clock and putting up another score on this drive will take a back seat as McNeil gets off a good punt. Gonna bounce, go out of bounds, actually a little bit shorter than what I thought. Right around the 25-yard line, and that's where we'll see Maiden take over on offense, trailing in this one by 13 with 11:42 to go.
Yeah, maybe not as long of a punt as you wanted, but definitely keeps the ball out of their top athletes' hands back there. That'll make the offense drive 75 yards here to try to cut into this Ashe lead.
And you talk about it with these dangerous athletes that they have in the return game. That's definitely a good idea, even if the punt was a little bit shorter than you might have liked. You don't risk a return there, as we've seen the Huskies susceptible to 2 big plays already in the second half.
And anytime you can limit the open space one of these shifty athletes from Maiden has, you're definitely helping yourself out.
1st and 10 from their own 25, split back set, man rolling out, watch the wheel route. But this time they instead choose to hand it off to the right side and being tripped up and finally brought down. There we see for the first time tonight getting the call, I believe, Asani Forte.
Yep, 3rd lead rusher this season. Nice little weapon to kind of spring on you here in the 4th quarter. Fresh legs, haven't seen him all night, so hoping he might be able to break one here against an Ashe defense that might be a little bit tired.
You said it there, not a bad idea to bring in the fresh man off of the bench. And there he's showing his wheels again, going to be tripped up though, but not before he has a first down by a good margin. Is Asani Forte once again.
Yeah, nice little weapon to bring in off the bench, kind of using him as your closer here down the stretch.
So first down for the Blue Devils out across their own 40-yard line. And again, the handoff goes to Forte. He's going to be stopped around the 45. Looking a little bit like Matt Forte for the Bears out there.
I tell you, when you can bring a guy in as your 3rd leading rusher off the bench, haven't seen him all night, and he's being able to gash the Husky defense like this, Maiden's coaching staff has to be pleased.
You talked about it before, Nate. If the Huskies could have put up a drive in the way that Maiden works the offense, which is on the ground, plays into Ashe County's hands. Although they're gaining yards right here on the ground, Maiden's still chewing that clock up.
They are, they have to score quick on the ground. That's obviously what they want to do. Not a big passing team.
There's a swing pass to the outside and some room to work. Still on his feet, fighting ahead. Is he forced out of bounds? No, they say he stayed in and takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown for Tony Hernandez and the Maiden Blue Devils.
What a great job walking the tightrope there by Hernandez. I didn't think there was a chance he would stay in bounds. But great job there.
Hard to tell from here. There's the official signal. It is a touchdown from the head referee. Hard to see from here if he was able to stay in bounds. I hope the referees had a good eye on that because it looked awfully close from here. But somehow, as you said, able to escape about 3 or 4 Husky defenders along that sideline and takes it all the way to the house at the 10-16 mark, pulls within 7, and probably with a 2-point conversion here, they're going to go for. Of course they are, running to that far sideline. Huff has room, stretches ahead. Did he get it? No, he did not. Reaching for the pylon, but is denied. So it will stay a 7-point ball game. That could be huge.
Definitely could be huge for Ashe to be able to maintain that full touchdown lead.
So just when you think the Huskies are in business, a big-time sack late in the 3rd period gets the momentum sort of in Maiden's favor, and they just further prove that there. The momentum is fully back in their direction with that touchdown.
Yeah, unfortunately, Maiden started the 4th just like they started the 3rd with a long touchdown play. Ashe offense needs to come out here and if not score, at least take some time off of this clock.
So 10-16 to go, still plenty of time. Time not a factor right now, just a 7-point ball game. Ashe County clinging to it right now by the slimmest of margins here by 1 touchdown, 27-20 here on Sky Zone Sports. Tonight's game brought to you again, as all season long has, by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson, proud 2014 sponsor of Husky football, and it has been a good season to be a sponsor of Ashe County football. 9-1 coming into this ball game. Just 1 loss there to Star Mountain Conference play keeps them from having a perfect season, but we'll take it. Another co-conference title, which can never be discounted. They get to hang the banner at Ashe County High School this winter after another impressive season, sharing it 3 ways for the second consecutive year. Last year it was with North Wilkes and Starmount. This year, Starmount and Elkin grabbed a share of the lead. Ashe County holding strong here despite giving up that last touchdown, have led for the majority of this ball game, with the exception of a couple of minutes during that third period. And now a short kickoff. We fielded over there near the far side. Some trouble, still having trouble finding the handle, and finally being dropped down to the ground was Carter Calhoun. A bit of a dangerous situation there. It was averted, though, by the senior return man.
Yeah, nice job picking that one up, being able to hang on to it. But you would like to have got a little bit better starting point here for Ashe. Nice little decision there by Maiden to kick it short, make Ashe kind of adjust on the fly, and unfortunately not able to pick up any yards.
So they're going to be starting on their own 23-yard line. First down and 10 for the Huskies. 10:08 remaining in this one. Leading 27-20. Working it left to right are the Huskies. Dropping back off play action. Bowers, plenty of time to throw. Throws it over there to the far sideline, and that one is swatted down. Could have been a lot worse than that, though.
Dangerous throw there. Well underthrown from the target. Just thankfully the Blue Devils could only get one hand on that one, knocking down instead of 2 hands for an interception.
Flirting with disaster as the tune goes.
Absolutely. Molly Hatchet in the building.
Playing with fire was Bowers. Didn't get burned that time, so he will escape. Huskies showing 4 wide set again. Bit of a low snap. Bowers has no trouble handling this one, though. Fires it off to that far sideline again. And this one again falls incomplete.
I think they did throw a flag on that one. Might be able to get some pass interference out of this. We'll see what the ref has to say.
And there you go. Good call, Nate.
Yeah, blind squirrel.
Even the dead clock's right 2 times a day.
Exactly. I think I've got my 2 right calls today, so better keep my mouth shut the rest of the way.
Good eyes there. So the personal foul penalty on the pass interference will give the Huskies a much-needed first down. If nothing else, at least move that ball up 15 yards. And regardless of exactly what happens here, have a chance to run at least 3 more plays, milk some more clock potentially, and maybe pin Maiden at least deep in their own territory. Of course, we know this Ashe County offense thinking touchdown all the way.
Oh, yeah, you know they want points. And Coach Hammonds, he's not one to really rein back the gear, so to say. He wants to go after it, go out and go get them. But, you know, right here, just want to keep some clock running. Just keep possession of the football one way or another.
Here's a screen play being drawn up there. Barnes not able to evade the tackler, though. Able to set blocks downfield, and a nice stop made that time by number 15, calling his name for the first time, senior outside linebacker M.J. Perry. Now it's going to be a loss of 3 that time, so second down and 13 for the Huskies. Bowers dropping back, airing this one all the way. Nice check down toss to Barnes. Chance for redemption across the 40. Stiff arm there, out now there to the 50, and forced out of bounds. McNeil also took a bit of a shot there at the end of that play.
A great little check down pass to Barnes, and Barnes does the rest, makes them miss. Big time first down.
As you said, most importantly there, first down, Ashe County. Clock continues to roll now, hitting the 9-minute mark in this one. Ball at midfield, 1st and 10 for the Huskies, leading by 7, looking to make it more. Bowers again, another check down throw, nice. There's Joseph Louder. I believe that's his first catch of the season. Ball comes loose, however, at the end of the play. And looks like Ashe was able to hang on to it, however. Maybe flirting with disaster once again.
Oh, man, you know, missing Colin Ellis here in the second half hurts quite a bit, but good to see Louder step up, make a big play. Nice little grab there. Able to hold on to that football. Maiden was really stripping at it, trying to pull it out. But it's a first down for the Huskies and into Maiden territory.
As we said, the Huskies at least getting this clock milking, but thinking touchdown. He asked coaches, how many points do you need? They'll always say more. So you can never be too satisfied as Bowers airing it out again. This time low pass reeled in and caught. Mason McNeil, another nice snag. and that's going to be up there for a gain of about 6-7 yards. Keep that clock rolling and keep those yards coming for Ashe County, and most importantly there, Mason McNeil, another catch.
Yeah, they've really singled him out against that Maiden defense. The Blue Devils, no answer for him in coverage.
And a great job there by McNeil being able to stay in bounds that time to keep that clock rolling. That's going to make it second down, about 4 yards to go. Inside of 8 minutes, Huskies leading by a touchdown. Looking for their first playoff victory in 7 years at Ashe County High School. And looky here, great touch pass up in the air. Blevins just unable to find the groove that time and can't catch that one, but a nice effort there by Ashe County.
Nice little fly pattern down the side. Blevins just could not get up there and pull that one in.
Some nice defense by the secondary. Blevins has been covered well all night, although he does have some nice catches there. I believe a pair of touchdowns, Nate.
Yeah, he's having a good game, playing hurt, absolutely leaving it all on the field.
Yeah, a little surprised he's still out there, but just show you the guts of this kid and this entire Husky team. They've battled through it all night long, these cold conditions. And Bowers in the read option, going to keep it himself. He's got the first down and then more. And finally going to take it out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Move those chains once again.
Yeah, good job by Bowers reading that defense perfectly. A lot of people crashed inside on Hunter Barnes. But nice execution of the read option. Yet another first down. Ashe driving here very nicely. Would like to cap this one off with a touchdown and put the Blue Devils certainly on their heels.
And most importantly for the Huskies, that clock continues to tick away down to 7:15 and counting in this final period. This time Bowers going to hand it off. Barnes fighting forward, finding some open space and capitalizing. He's out there close to a first down.
Another nice little gainer right there. Looks like he picked up about 8 on that. Can't tell for sure up here, but certainly close to a first down. You know, if you get 8 yards a pop on a running play, every coach in the world will take that.
And that moves it into red zone territory once again. We've seen the Huskies leave perfect on the night in this situation. Inside of 7 minutes to go now. Time's starting to become a factor with the way the Huskies are milking it on this drive, looking to put some more points on the board, leading by a touchdown. Play action, quick fire out to there to the left side. That's going to be close to a first down. I believe he's got it, is Mason McNeil.
Mason McNeil just absolutely being a warrior out there tonight, along with Jacob Blevins. Hangs on to that one, and according to that spot, the refs, I think we're right on top of that. Didn't spot him where he went down at, spotted him where he caught the football. Certainly forward progress, good enough for a first down.
Keep those chains rolling down to about the 11-yard line now, so the Huskies can still get a first down before taking it to the house. 1st and 10 Ashe County, nearing the 6-minute mark. Bowers dropping back, looking across the middle, has his man in stride. That is Blevins with another nice catch down inside the 10.
Down inside the 10, as you said, great little catch by Blevins. You can tell that leg still bother him a little bit. That's usually a play. With that much space, he's going to take that one to the house, but Maiden able to stay stride for stride with him.
Just talking about the burner speed capabilities of Jacob Blevins. Even him out there, though, at 60-70% is probably faster than most of these guys out on the field.
Oh, yeah, absolute track star last year. We know how well he did in track season and how well he'll probably do this track season as well. Just a great weapon.
Second down, about 8 to go. Barnes has the carry. He's got some space. Touchdown, Huskies!
Great job by Ashe finishing off that drive just how you wanted to. And Maiden certainly in trouble here. 5.5 left. Going to be down 2 touchdowns.
33-20 pending the extra point. Ashe County putting up points here. This is more of the game we expected coming in and not the defensive battle that it was in that first half, which was only 13-0. We only saw 2 scores put up on the board by Ashe County. It was coming in much more dramatic fashion here in the second half, too. We've seen a lot of big plays reeled off by both squads. Now the extra point attempt from Richardson. This one is up, and it is good. So another key extra point conversion by the junior kicker. Makes it a full 2 scores, 34-20 Ashe County at the 5:31 mark here in this final period. Ashe County, it's not over yet, but looking pretty good right about now, Nate, after that drive.
Yeah, got to feel good going up 2 scores against a team that just lives with that running game. They're going to have to break off some big runs here if they want to get back this thing in a hurry.
And we talked about it here tonight, stepping up for the Ashe County Huskies all season long. As we take a look at the offensive leaders through the season, didn't get into the offensive scheme of things until late in the year, but Hunter Barnes, that is another rushing touchdown. Unofficially, that'll be his 4th score of the year on the ground. Just
as you said, great job by the senior. When called upon, he's come in and just made plays. You can't ask for a whole lot more than that.
So the senior finding his way to pay dirt, about 8 yards out. Gives the Huskies 6 more. Extra point from Richardson makes it 7. 34-25, 31 to go. Don't go anywhere. Buckle up. It's go time here at Ashe County High School. Maiden going to have to try to find something quick, fast, and in a hurry if they want to get back into this ball game trailing by 2 scores.
Yeah, you know, they thought this might be a big upset for the higher-seeded team, but so far Ashe certainly defending that home field.
A little bit of something out of the playbook from last year when Bradley Lucas was kicking for Ashe County Huskies, and it nearly paid off.
Big time play right there.
So the man just able to fall down on it barely at his own 33-yard line. That's where we'll see Maiden take the field, 1st down and 10 with 5:28 remaining in this ball game. And some more score updates from first-round playoff action from around the area. Starmount leading 41-7. Elkin in a bit of a hole here, trailing 30-24. Allegheny over Bishop McGuinness, 12-6. North Davidson having their way with Watauga, 42-6. Avery with a surprise lead right now, I should say, 23-15, as we see a completed pass. One of the few we've seen tonight for the Maiden Blue Devils. That time swinging it out to number 22, Sam Poovey.
And I've been following that Avery score on my phone a little bit. They've led from the start. That would be an impressive upset for a 15 seed to go to East Surrey, as well as East Surrey's played this year. If they could pull that off, that's a big-time win.
Yes, certainly is. We heard them at the end of last week taking it down the field with, what, a minute and a half to go, about 90-something yards for a touchdown to beat Mount Airy and come away with the victory and the conference title. As we see Farley going deep down the right side, pass is caught, and 1st down and then some. Hudler finally, no, still on his feet. They cannot bring him down. Hernandez inside the 5, stretching forward, touchdown.
Wow, what a play. Hernandez once again just will not go down, and this Maiden team will not go away either.
Just when you think this thing may be signed, sealed, and delivered, Maiden steps up and makes a huge play. How many yards was that from, Nate?
That's a 60-yarder right there.
My goodness, and missed tackles. If Ashe County loses this ball game, it's going to come down to unable to tackle and wrap up the offensive player. Looks like they may line up to kick this one, Nate, for the extra point attempt. Trailing by 8 after that score. Still waiting on the kicker to come onto the field. Might need him if you're going to kick the extra point.
That's a tough extra point if you're just going to sit there and hold on to it.
So the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and this one is good. So that makes it a 7-point ball game now as Homer Hodge comes on and kicks the PAT. And Homer cuts it down to a 7-point ball game. So 4:37 remaining in this ball game. Ashe County on top, 34-27. And this is going to come down to the wire. Got a feeling of that, Nate.
This has been a battle throughout and stays the same. Right now, hopefully Ashe can hold on for these last 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
See if the Huskies can respond, at least with a drive that can milk some clock. At the very least, pin Maiden deep in their own territory, make them have to work the whole field. Of course, the way they've done it 3 times here in this second half, they don't need much time to take it the distance.
Well, they can score pretty quick, unfortunately.
And we do have a final score to pass on your way now. It is official. Allegheny has come up with a victory 12-6 over Bishop McGuinness. So congratulations to neighboring Allegheny County from Sparta. The Trojans getting a big home playoff victory. And if Elkin's able to come back, of course, they're in a bit of a hole right now. They will be in a rematch again for the second time this year. We know that was a very highly contested matchup. What was the score there? 26-22 at Allegheny.
Yeah, close game, and Allegheny really had them on the ropes.
Onside kick now. Who comes up with the ball? Ashe County able to fall on it. So Ashe averts a disaster there, and a nice job there by Elmer Alvarez. We know he has a nose for the ball on special teams and proves it once again.
Yeah, he's been one of the top players on special teams all year. We've seen him make plenty of tackles and be able to block a little bit on returns. And a good job there, grabbing onto that onside kick, setting Ashe up with pretty good field position. A little bit surprised Maiden went with the onside kick that early in the game with 3 timeouts left, but you know, obviously maybe not have a whole lot of faith in that defense.
Yeah, potentially last game of the year, can't hold anything back. And there's a loose ball. Maiden comes up with it, and my goodness, when it rains, it pours. And the roller coaster ride as the second half of this ball game continues. Maiden now with excellent field position inside the Ashe County 45-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. And this Blue Devils offense comes onto the field all geared up, and things fully in their swing right now.
Yeah, Blue Devils just in there swiping for that ball, and unfortunately Ashe coughed it up right there. Maiden gonna have a chance to tie this ball game, maybe go for the win if they go for 2. 4:22 left.
So mark it down at the Husky 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Maiden, 4:22 to go, trailing 34-27, working it right to left. Handoff goes to Huff, finding some room. They're going to be bottled up there after a gain of about 2 or 3. Spun around there and brought to the dirt by about the entire Husky defensive line. Also stepping up there, Tristan Jones, sophomore linebacker, second leading tackler for the Huskies this season. He's more than done his fair share. And we do have another final to pass on your way. No surprise here with the scores that's been 52-14 North Davidson over Watauga. We see a completed pass and the ball pops out. Did they rule it? And there it is, Ashe County football. Tristan Jones pounces on that one, and the Husky defenders come up with another huge play, fully swinging momentum back in the favor of the Huskies.
And great job by that Ashe County defense. Unfortunately, the offense coughed it up, but Ashe defense able to get back on that one. Great job by Tristan Jones picking up the loose ball.
Yeah, not sure who the Husky defender was that made the play on the far sideline. It was tough to see from here, but then Tristan Jones able to finish off the job. Comes up with the football. This Ashe County offense quickly back onto the field. Boy, what a whirlwind this second half has been. Starting from their own 34-yard line, so some good field position, 3:43 and counting in the game. Here comes the handoff to Sky Sullivan, working his way off that left side, and he's going to pick up about 3-4 yards on the first play from scrimmage.
I'd say you'll see a lot of Sullivan here down the stretch. He's done a good job of hanging on to the football all year. Unfortunately, Barnes coughed it up on that last possession. You might see Hampton just ride it out with the sophomore.
And if you're the Blue Devils, is this a time with 3:20 now on the clock and counting, 2nd down and 7? If you make a stop here, do you burn one of your timeouts?
Yeah, you got to, especially when you rely on the running game as much as Maiden does.
Just over 3 minutes to go. Here comes the snap. No surprise here. Another handoff for the Huskies. And they're fighting for it. Still on his feet and garners enough for a first down. Move those chains. And how big is that first down pickup?
Big time there from the Ashe offense. Just have to pick up some first downs here. Make Maiden burn through those timeouts. You never know. A couple first downs here. That might be all it would take by the time they burn their 3 timeouts. And thankfully no 2-minute warning at the high school level.
Exactly right. That'll push it out to just across the 45-yard line of the Huskies, inside of 3 minutes to go. Huskies going to be sure to let this play clock wind all the way down before they even think about snapping this. Bowers just content to stand there and twiddle his thumbs for about 24 seconds. Now the snap, another handoff. No, he keeps it himself. Bowers dancing to that far sideline and going to be forced out of bounds. And that's going to stop the clock. Bowers does get a nice gainer that time, but that really gifts the Maiden Blue Devils right there. They don't have to call a timeout.
Yeah, I tell you, sometimes you're better off losing a couple yards to slide down than picking up 5 and stopping the clock, though. So tough break there for Ashe, but hopefully, you know, it's a second short here. They'll be able to pick up a first down, and running out of bounds there won't hurt them too bad.
So at the 2:36 mark, clock will stop as Bowers scampered out of bounds, back in the gun, 4 wide set, trips to the right. Going to keep it this time on the ground. He will hand it off, and Sullivan falls forward right at the first down mark. Looks like he may be just shy. But most importantly for the Ashe County Huskies, that clock continues to run. Now Maiden, you're really in a difficult situation here. It's going to be 3rd down and 1, and with 2:15 to go, you've got to think possibly another first down here may wrap this ball game up.
Yeah, Maiden's got all 3 timeouts. They'll certainly use them, but they're really relying on that defense right here to get a stop. Kind of surprised they've let that clock just keep rolling right here, but they got a lot of faith in their defense.
So although it won't stop the clock, we will give you a 2-minute warning as the clock rolls inside of a couple of minutes now. 1:50 to go, 3rd down and 1. Needing to get to the 45-yard line, just shy of it. Here's the handoff, 1st down and then some. He's down at the 40 as Barnes working his way all the way to the 35-yard line before he is slung to the ground. And a big-time conversion there for the Huskies at the 144 mark.
And you saw Hunter Barnes there protecting that football, covering it up like a little baby in a blanket out there, just absolutely wrapping your arms around it, and a big-time first down.
And Maiden still not using timeouts with 1:30 remaining in the ball game. Clock rolling on down, less than 90 seconds to go, and almost like they're conceding this ball game already here, still with 3 timeouts. Bowers in the gun, gonna hand this one off again. Barnes, all kinds of room inside the 30, the 25, the 20, and wrestled down from behind, but moved those chains once again. This one may be all over with now. Wyatt French finally brings him down, but the Huskies are in business down in the red zone territory with 1:12 on the clock.
And how about Coach Hampton trusting his senior tailback right there after the fumble, puts him in, and 2 big running plays there, and looks like Maiden finally burns their first timeout.
So a bit curious decision why Maiden wasn't using timeouts earlier. Now you've really put yourself in a difficult situation. However, the way the Huskies are moving the ball on the ground, it doesn't matter if you call a timeout. Whatever you do, it looks like the Huskies are picking up those yards on the ground right now and moving those sticks. And another score update to send your way. We just had a big interception by Heath Austin of the Avery County Vikings, gives them the ball back, and they are up 23-15 with 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. So a big-time upset possibly brewing in East Surrey.
You know, I'm not going to brag, but that was my upset special of the week. Trey Jackson is a monster for Avery, and I thought they might pull it off. They got some athletes, but you know what? I should have went and played the lottery.
That's right. Let's go buy some scratch-offs here after this one's over.
Hey, I might have to if I can get there in time.
So the first of 3 timeouts burned by Maiden. 1:12 on the clock. Bowers in the gun, hands this one off to Sullivan, dancing his way up the gut. Nothing too fancy. The ball popped out, exactly what you don't want to happen. They're going to say he was down, I believe, by contact. But that's one thing that you've got to be drilling into your players' heads right now if you're Coach Hampton. Wrap up that ball. I don't care if you gain a yard or not. Just hold on to that football and get down in bounds.
I'm telling you, you're almost to the point where you just tell them to hold it like a lineman just intercepted a pass. Just hold that thing against your chest and just run downfield. Don't even move your arms.
And another timeout going to be called by Maiden, their second timeout of the second half at the 1:06 mark. It's going to be 3rd down and pretty long situation for the Huskies. 8 yards to go. Excuse me, 2nd down with 1:06 on the clock. Ball down on the 17-yard line. And if you're the Ashe County Huskies here, Nate, do you go with Barnes or Sullivan, the senior or the sophomore?
I tell you, it's a tough choice, and as powerful as Sullivan is, you'd like to see him in there. You know, he can turn just a small hole into a 5-yard gain. And, you know, if you get a first down here, this ball game's over. So, you know, I might write it out with the sophomore, but, you know, the senior, he's used to this. He's been here. He was in the playoffs last year. So, looks like they're both going to be in the backfield.
That's what I was going to say. How about this? Maybe Sullivan is your lead blocker. It's sort of a fullback set. And then Barnes behind him joining, and it does go to Barnes, the senior, wrapped up immediately. Big-time hit being laid down that time by John Parton. Outside linebacker goes untouched and makes the stop right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of about 1. And with 1:01 on the clock, Maiden is forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout here in the second half. That's going to bring up 3rd down and right at 10 yards. And the Huskies' season could come down to 10 yards here, Nate. You pick up these, you're going to come out of here with a win and advance to the second round of the state playoffs, live to fight another day.
Yeah, it'll be all over if you get those yards. Either way, you got to think you got to run the football here, Maiden, no timeouts. You know, even if you run it and don't pick it up, they're going to have about 30 seconds left to do something with it by the time Ashe either goes for it or, you know, they might try a field goal, but I'm kind of doubting it with how cold it is. Kicking that football is going to feel like kicking the side of a house pretty much. That's just going to feel like a big weight on your foot.
Any chance we might see a screenplay drawn up here to the big side of the field, that far side?
You know what? That might be an option, but we've seen Bowers kind of miscue some of those shorter throws today. You'd hate to stop the clock at all. I think I would just simply hand the ball off and hope for the best.
Third down, about 9 to go. 9.5 we'll call it. 101, Maiden with no timeouts. Good hard snap count that time by Connor Bowers. I believe that's going to result in an offsides penalty by that defense. No, it's going to be against Ashe County when it's all said and done. So that's a costly mistake that time. Some early movement up front, they're going to say, is what drawed that defender offsides. And now what was third and right at 10 yards becomes third and almost 15 to go to pick up the first down for Ashe County. See if they keep it on the ground here. We know it's 4-down territory. Bowers dropping back, going to throw. Here comes the screen toss, and incomplete. It stops the clock.
I just think you want to run the football there, but I'm definitely not on the coaching staff here.
So I was right with the play call, but unfortunately it was not executed by the Ashe County Huskies.
Yeah, just didn't quite execute it on that. We'll see what Ashe wants to do here. They may just
Richardson's coming on. It looks like they might try to kick this one. So despite the 18-degree weather, if it's that now, and windy conditions, Ashe County is bringing on the field goal unit with 57.5 remaining in this ball game, up 34-27. So the ball's spotted on the 23-yard line. He's back at the 30 to kick this one away. And the referee stopping this one. And another penalty against Ashe County.
Well, Richardson staying on the field. This will be a heck of a field goal attempt here.
Let's see, about how far would this one be, Nate, standing from the 29?
Wow, that's what we're looking at, a 46-yarder here. That's
NFL territory.
Hey, if he hits this, I don't know what the school record is, but that's probably got to be close to it. But looks like Hampton wants to talk it over. He might change his mind on this one.
So 57.5 seconds remaining. The Huskies in a good situation. You're leading by 7, but unfortunately you're in a 4th down and 15-yardage situation here. Ball's going to be on about the 28-yard line of Maiden. Do you just try a run play here, maybe a screen play, to just push it down farther into Maiden territory and make them work with a long field if you're not able to get the first down? Or are you just trying to keep that clock moving a few seconds and just put it on the ground here in this situation? Or is he going to bring out the kicker again?
Man, I don't know. I tell you, this decision would be a lot easier if we'd have ran about 30 seconds off on that last play. But, you know, the coaching staff has faith in their kids, and they'll go out here, send them a play, and hope they can execute it. You know, you might as well run up a play like you're running your regular offense. Just look for a pass play downfield at this point. I mean, a running play will stop the clock as soon as he's tackled. It'll be a change of possession. So, hey, you might as well go for the end zone, I guess.
So no timeouts for Maiden on the opposite end here. 4th and 15. Your defense, ball's on the 23. If you can get it right there, we know the big play capability of this offense. They're not out of it by any means with 57.5 seconds remaining despite having no timeouts. Here we go. 3 wide set, split backs. Bowers dropping back. They're going to throw it, looking to the corner of the end zone. Blevins over his head and incomplete. Only runs around a second or so off of that clock. So they're going to say 56.5 seconds left in this game. Maiden's going to take over on the Ashe County 23-yard line, 1st and 10.
Maiden's got a long way to go here for that tying score with no timeouts. We'll see what the Blue Devils can do. Just, you know, buckle up right here. This could be a big-time finish.
Hang on to your hats. Don't go anywhere. Excuse me. It's on the 28-yard line. And there we see the clock rolling with the change of possession down inside of 50 seconds. Farley split back set. Man in motion, 3 wide receivers. Going to throw this one. A bullet across the middle pass is caught and unable to wrap him up. He's going to cruise to the sideline. And Ashe County did a big no-no, letting Ty Williams catch it in stride across the middle and then let him scamper to the sideline and stop that clock.
You hate to see that happening. Definitely would have kept that clock rolling. Would not have been near enough for a first down, but unable to make the tackle inbounds.
So his clock stops, 48.1. Split back set once again, 3 wideouts. Second down and about 2 to go. Farley takes the snap, drops back, feeling the heat now, having to scamper away from trouble. He's got the first down and then some. There he goes across midfield, the 45, and will finally be wrapped up as the whistle is blown dead with the first down until the chains are moved with 37.3 seconds remaining. So after things are reset, and there the clock does start rolling. All the way down to the Ashe County 43-yard line, first down and 10. Maiden hanging tough in this ball game, folks. Don't go anywhere. There he throws it to the far side. And that one falls incomplete. Still 23.7 seconds left and ball on the Ashe County 43. Huskies aren't out of the woods by any means just yet.
That defense got to make a few more plays here. 23 seconds is going to feel like a lifetime out there. They have got to be able to make some stops.
We'll see what's drawn up here by head coach Frank Snyder. Boy, you can feel the intensity from up here. And there's a low pass, just hits the dirt. Some miscommunication there, and Farley just kind of looked like he had a dead arm flinging that one out there to the far sideline.
Yeah, I think we see why they run the ball a whole lot. Just a basic little swing pass right there, and that throw nowhere close.
So that's going to bring up third down and 10. Time play here on the Ashe County 43-yard line. Split back set. Here's the swing pass to the outside, and again dropped. One play, Nate. Could all come down to this with 15.9 seconds left in this ball game. Fourth down and 10 on the Ashe County 43-yard line. If you're Coach Hampton, do you call a timeout here to talk things over with your defense, or you just let Maiden kind of guess it out there with no timeouts?
You know, I wouldn't call a timeout right here. Maiden, they can't call any. They have to rely on everybody to be able to get this ball from the sideline. If I'm the Huskies, I line up where those first down sticks are, keep everything in front of you. Looks like the secondary's doing just that. Try to keep it all in front of you.
Here we go.
Just watch some trick plays.
Trick play over here to Farley on the near side. Now the halfback threw it to him inside the 40, the 35, the 30. He's going to be forced out of bounds with 5.7 seconds left in the ball game, and that's going to be enough to move those chains. So some new life here breathed into the Maiden Blue Devils as they convert on a big 4th and 10 situation, get it down all the way into red zone territory. And could we see some more trick plays here, maybe hook and lateral, shades of Cal Stanford?
I don't know. That was a gutsy play call there to have a running back throwing the football on 4th down. But it worked perfectly. They had it well blocked, well designed. Farley got that first down, 5 seconds left.
5.7, dropping back, clock is rolling. One last shot for the tie or the win. Pass is caught and incomplete. Time runs dead. The Ashe County Huskies have survived.
Wow, great job there by the Ashe defense. The coverage not really there. The man was open, but just could not hang on to it. Maybe heard some footsteps. Louder was back there. But I tell you what, great job by Ashe and that defense, able to hold on at the last second.
The Ashe County Huskies have prevailed. Win number 10 on the season. Congratulations to the Ashe County Huskies. I believe that's a record with those 10 victories, is it not, Nate?
I believe you're correct on that first 10-win season for Ashe. Not 100% sure, but I think you are exactly right.
And the record season for the Ashe County Huskies just keeps on rolling. 34-27 is our final here tonight as the Ashe County Huskies have advanced and the high school gets its first victory since 2007 in the North Carolina High School 2A playoffs as they defeat the 14th seed Maiden Blue Devils 34-27, and the 3rd seed Huskies advance. and they await the winner of Monroe and T.W. Andrews, which that game should be a barn burner here tonight. We don't have a final on that, but it was a rematch between the two teams that met in the state championship, I believe, last year in the 2A.
Yeah, High Point Andrews, absolutely loaded team. Lost a whole lot, but they play in a tough conference too. They were the lower seeded team in that game, but you never know. They might be able to pull that one off against Monroe, but Monroe absolutely tremendous, powerfully offense.
So we've got a final score actually on that one, and Monroe comes away with the big victory over Andrews, 38-12. So the Huskies will meet up with Monroe, and what could be a very difficult matchup for Ashe County again next week. But hey, give it up to the Huskies here tonight. Those guys fired up out there in the field. You can tell, despite the cold conditions, 18-degree weather and wind, the Ashe County Huskies have prevailed again, 34-27, and they await Monroe in the second round, and they will be at home next week. We look forward to bringing you the action once again on Sky Zone Sports. It's been a great one here tonight, Nate, and good to see the Huskies continue here in the state playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely great playoff win. It's been a while since we tasted that playoff victory. Just almost had one last year, but this year able to hang on and break that playoff losing skid. Great win by Ashe. Now they got to get back to practice, get back to the work, and see if we can pull off one against Monroe next week.
So the magical season continues for the Huskies. The roller coaster ride keeps on trucking, and the Huskies have advanced to the second round of the high school playoffs for the first time since 2007. Our final score again tonight, 34-27 over the Maiden Blue Devils. Wasn't easy, but good to see Ashe County prevail, and we appreciate you tuning in here tonight. And for everyone here at the Sky Zone Studios, for Angus Lamond, Greg Jones, Robbie Farmer, Corbin Richardson, and Nathan Ham, I'm Tyler Ashe. Thanks for watching.